Beck has improved his draft status with this run that Miami was on. I think he played decent football, let the defense do what the defense does, and I think he improved his draft status. Not saying he's a first or second rounder, but certainly a third, fourth, maybe a fifth round guy. And I'm not sure that he was that when the season started.
Well, I mean, you realize in the National Football League, it's hard to find a quarterback. It is hard to find 32 dudes on planet Earth that can play that one position at a high level.
We're talking about the Texans now? Or?
Well, I mean, it's the segue into it.
Okay.
Because the Houston Texans thought they had that guy. They thought they struck gold with CJ Stroud, who had an incredible rookie season.
Yes.
But he hasn't played anywhere to that level since. And the way he played in the playoffs, he had more turnovers in the 2 playoff games than his entire rookie year. The idea that now you have a decision on extending him, I'm pretty sure they'll pick up the 5th-year option. But if you're Nick Caserio, if you're Mr. McNair, if you're DeMeco Ryans, and DeMeco can say he's got his back all he wants to a microphone.
Sure.
What is he saying in the meeting rooms with the other decision makers within that organization?
Wouldn't you love to be in that room and listen to that conversation?
Do they have their guy or do they not? Does one more year make that much of a difference? I mean, you've got a big enough sample size, a prove-it year. All right, cool. And it gets paid, and then what, right? Do the Houston Texans need to seriously look at finding another quarterback? Because for everybody that says, whether it was on Twitter, some dude bending my ear last night at the Rue Pub, that, you know what, CJ Stroud understands what he's doing. He might take less. He's not going to take less. He's not.
Why would he?
Exactly. By the way, his agent is David Mulligetta, right? But when you look at some of the quarterbacks who have signed deals in recent years, and we'll all say, do they deserve it? No. And it doesn't matter if they deserve it. It's all about timing, and then an organization deciding, do we want to start over? Do we want to take our chances? But when you look at the fact that a Tua, a Trevor, a Jordan Love have all signed massive contracts, did the Texans want to do that? And at the same time, come up with, I don't know, Will Anderson money. Will
Anderson's going to get paid.
Oh, absolutely.
That's going to happen this offseason.
But can you have and look, that was the discussion, at the when they drafted. If you hit on both of these guys, can you afford to keep both of them at top of the market for their position salaries at the exact same time and have everything else there? If you pay CJ Stroud, do you go a little bit cheaper on the defense? Because they still have some things they need to do offensively. Can you afford to keep them? You know, Jerry Jones had to make that decision with Micah Parsons. Forever they said, we're going to pay all 3 of them. And we said, how? We'll figure it out. You know how they figured it out? They didn't pay all 3 of them. Micah Parsons is now a Green Bay Packer. That
very true, very true. But look, there's some quarterbacks that have been paid, and you know, you look at Kyler Murray, a disaster. You look at Tua, a disaster. The Dolphins are regretting the hell out of that right now and trying everything they can to get rid of him. And the list goes on and on. And then you look at guys like Sam Darnold. I know every Texan fan is going to laugh. Davis Mills started that win streak.
Yep.
And played very well. He didn't turn the football over and allowed that defense to do what it did. Now, I will say CJ Stroud came in and continued that thing, but he just turned into a completely different player in the playoffs. And I mean, just like a panicky kid is what the only way I can describe it. It was just like unbelievable.
Kid.
Just a kid that's panicking.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he was panicking the whole time, and it was just very un-CJ-like, certainly that we've seen him. But I don't see how you can extend that guy this offseason.
Well, and again, they'll pick up the option.
I would think so.
Even that's expensive. But long term, do you invest in this defense and find a quarterback that Sam Darnold, $33 million, Baker Mayfield, $33 million. Do you find somebody like that can give you above average quarterback play? Not great, certainly not elite.
They don't need that.
Well, they just need above average.
They need a guy that just is not going to make a bunch of mistakes.
Well, and again, when you look at it, from a financial standpoint, your top 11 quarterbacks are making $50 million plus a year.
Mm-hmm.
Kyler, because he's been paid for a while, is number 12 at 46. Deshaun Watson is still making $46 million. Kirk Cousins at 45. Mahomes at 45. Stafford at 42. Geno Smith at 37. Right. And if you're David Mulligetta representing CJ Stroud, I don't know if you go in and ask to top Dak Prescott $60 million after this playoff run, but he's going to ask.
Well, after they get through laughing at David Mulligetta, then they'll move on and just give him the fifth-year option.
Laughing, it's the going rate. You look at.
There's no way I'm paying C.J. Stroud $60 million plus. There's no way in hell I'm doing that after what he has done this year.
Didn't we say the same thing? There's no way in hell Miami will sign Tua to north of $50 million a year.
Well,
what about Trevor Lawrence? There's no way.
Well, at least Lawrence kind of is helping himself. He played well this year.
He did play well this year after he got paid, but up until the point he got paid, had he done anything that said,
no,
right? That's where C.J. Stroud is out right now, which is why David Mulligetta is going to go in and he's going to ask for $1 more than what Dak Prescott has. That doesn't mean he's going to get it.
Well, yeah, you can ask.
I don't think he's going to get laughed out of the room. That's the going rate.
I don't know. I think right now, if you went in there today, I'd laugh you out of the room.
And if he plays great next year on the fifth-year option and somehow they get to an AFC championship game or the Super Bowl, now he's going to want $65-70. The longer you wait, the more it costs in most cases.
Sure.
Right? I think the Houston Texans have to make a decision this year, this offseason. Yep, you're going to pick up his option. You got to do that. But do you draft a quarterback? Do you start looking at potential quarterbacks in free agency? Do you make a trade with somebody who has an unhappy quarterback? Like there was one report, or I don't know, spaghetti on the wall report about, hey, CJ and 3-1s for Joe Burrow.
Dude,
right, I would do that in a heartbeat,
today, right now,
but
yes.
Why would the Bengals do that?
Well, I don't know.
Why would the Bengals do that?
The only reason, you wouldn't, because you've signed those two wide receivers, and they would probably boycott you.
But you would still get a CJ Stroud, right? But, again, so it's not like it's 3-1s and you've lost your quarterback and you're starting over. You just are getting CJ Stroud. But the Texans they feel like they're so close to getting over the hump with a Super Bowl caliber defense. Their offense, they need to work on the offensive line. I mean, they've got some receiver weapons. They just have a quarterback that got the yips.
Yeah, well, they should get the receivers fine. And Nico Collins and Tank Dell, who should be back next year and healthy. I'm not worried about their weapons. They do need to fix that offensive line, and perhaps, unless they think they found their running back, they might want to look at a running back. And Joe Mixon is still missing in action, and I wouldn't count on him coming back. But look, with C.J. Stroud, I see where you're coming from. I mean, do we know now, or is it going to take another year? I think with the C.J. Stroud, yes. I think you give him another year. You pick up the option. You certainly don't extend him this offseason. Pick up the option and see how he plays. Try to upgrade that offensive line and see if you get the CJ back that you had his rookie year. I mean, if you're Houston, I think gambling on that is better off than saying, screw this, we're going to start over and just cut ties with this guy. I think you give him that year and see if he improves, and well, if not, then you're forced to. You have no choice.
And maybe it's somewhere kind of in the middle. Yep, we're picking up your option. We love you, man. We want this to work. But your replacement is in the building.
Yeah, well,
and
that.
Whether you're drafting a quarterback, if you have a chance to get, somebody on the free agent market, Mac Jones becomes available, and Malik Willis becomes available, and you get a chance to add that, I can't worry about CJ's feelings in that quarterback room because I don't know that he's my long-term answer in Houston. Nick Caserio and D'Amico Ryans and Mr. McNair, they need to figure that out now, and they need to make a decision. It doesn't have to be concrete, like, yep, one more year with CJ, and then we're moving on, and we're trying to find his replacement. Same thing I said for years, like that last Dak Prescott deal. You knew he was going to get it. Not that he earned it, not that he deserved it, but the Cowboys made no plans for life after Dak. I mean, Cooper Rush was the backup quarterback. So a future starter wasn't available.
Well, it's hard to do that, though, Jason. I mean, it's hard to do. You thought Joe Milton might be the guy.
Well, I
have no faith in Joe Milton as the backup or a replacement for Dak Prescott.
They made the move, and they've got, no, not right now, but they've got 3 years to figure it out.
Well,
they have 3 years to figure it out.
Well, perhaps not with Milton, but yes, you're right. They do. Look, I think the Cowboys should start thinking about drafting a quarterback.
I agree.
If not this year, maybe the next, but still.
And this year.
Well, I just don't know if you do that and you waste 2 years of a rookie contract. I just don't know. And then by the time he gets out, now it worked out pretty well for the Green Bay Packers doing that with Jordan Love. I think, although Love hasn't gotten over the hump, and the only reason the Packers have been in the playoffs for 4 years in a row is because they extended the people that get in.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason. Otherwise, they're on the outside looking in the last 4 years.
Yep.
So I'm not sure Jordan Love's the guy. It's hard to find a good quarterback. You look at New England has found one. Sam Darnold, the guy's only won 14 games the last 2 years, one with Minnesota and now this year with Seattle. I think they found the right guy. Sometimes it takes a while, but sometimes I think teams get too infatuated with rookies coming out of college other than going after a Baker Mayfield type or a Sam Darnold type or a Mac Jones type. Maybe that's the answer sometimes, other than saying, this guy looks great at Indiana. Is he the real deal or not? And you don't know till you get him in there.
That's, the idea of, man, let him develop for a couple of years is, versus play right away and try to maximize the salary that a rookie quarterback has. And some guys get thrown to the wolves, and, man, they get eaten alive. Ask Cam Ward.
Yes.
Other guys, survive. You look at your two guys like Drake May and Caleb Williams this year, and you go, all right. I mean, ideally, that's what you would like.
Yeah, well, of course you would. And then some guys take a little while to develop, or is it the system? I'm not sure, but in Sam Darnold's case, the Jets ruined him. Then he was to Carolina. He was horrible there. He finally goes and sits a year in San Francisco and learns how to be a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw that in Minnesota and now in Seattle, and he's got them one win away from a Super Bowl. So the Texans, and I'd like to hear from Texan fans, honestly, what do you want to do with CJ Stroud? And I have a feeling right now everybody said get rid of the dude because the scar is still hurting a little bit. But I wonder. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You can get Jason at Jason Minix on Twitter, at Joe Reinagle 210, or you can go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page and comment there. Be sure you like and subscribe to that page. What do you think, Texan fans? What do you want the Texans to do at quarterback? We're talking about that, and we're talking about, that kid Mendoza, who most likely going to be a Las Vegas Raider next year. We're talking about that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. So much going on with Underdog. Spurs are playing tonight. Of course, he had the championship game last night and the conference championship games this weekend. And there's no better place to get in on all the action and make your picks, win money in Texas is at Underdog. It's fun and it's easy. All you got to do is pick higher or lower on stats, touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions. Get them all right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. I keep looking at the Matthew Stafford number for passing yards. And look at what Stafford did in 2 regular season games against that Seattle defense. Walker in his rushing yards with the injuries there in the backfield for Seattle. Walker's going to get a heavy dose. Then you look at all the stats, especially early in the week, because, those stat projections do change throughout the week. So you like what you're seeing? Get that pick'em entry done. What are you waiting for? Download the Underdog app today. Use promo code STAR to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Did you know that Apple started in a garage? Google started in a garage. So did Amazon and Hewlett-Packard. At the next rodeo, we have nothing against garages, but this is for those burgeoning businesses that started in backyards. Bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchens, home offices, and also garages. Small businesses with smaller beginnings that were looked down on. Talked down too, but had the smarts to survive and the grit to grow. And now they're ready for the next chapter, the next level. Now they're ready for the next rodeo. The Next Rodeo is a creative partner that brings world-class thinking to companies who know where they're going, no matter where they came from. The Next Rodeo. The difference between the business you have and the business you want is one great idea. Get the full story at thenextrodeo.com.
Snapshot from Progressive wasn't created for just anybody. Oh no, we made it for you. Smooth accelerators. When that light turns green, you're off. Like a warm knife through firm butter. Going from 0 to the speed limit in an appropriate amount of time. Sure, your car has horsepower, but your horses prance around as silky smooth as your right foot. Fancy Prancerton. With Snapshot, safe drivers like you get personalized rates based on your driving habits. Sign up today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3 grand.
Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank. Taxes was waiting on the refund you needed yesterday.
All right, your car repair is going to run about $3 grand.
Now Taxes is getting back on the road with TurboTax and Credit Karma, where you can get your refund up to 5 days faster and get personalized guidance to take every dollar further. Now this is Taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Deposit a federal refund into Credit Karma Money account and early submission of refund data by IRS required. Terms apply. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Credit Karma is not a bank.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a hump day on the Morning Huddle. Back-to-back for San Antonio for the Spurs. How do they look after two coming out of Houston?
And the coaching carousel continues to turn. So many places still open. We'll talk coaching. We'll talk NBA. And, oh, by the way, we got a Super Bowl just around the corner. Lots to talk about. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you're having a good one, whatever you're doing, however you are doing it. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason. What a game last night. Great game, and I'm happy that it turned out the way that it did.
Yeah, Indiana gets the win. Everything last night, just a great championship game. I was worried that it was going to be a blowout, and so many of the championship games are. I mean, I was worried this was going to turn into Georgia TCU, and I'm glad it did not. I mean, this game had so much of everything. You even heard words out of Fernando's mouth that you're not used to hearing.
All the glory to God. I mean, there's no better group of guys I want to deal with. It's the most special moment of my life. It's such a great group of guys. I love you guys. Great job. Let's go!
Yeah. Hey, channeling his inner Tom Brady, his future boss with the LFG.
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was excited.
I mean, normally he sounds so ChatGPT-ish. I was surprised that actually came out of that dude's mouth.
I got to tell you, if you're Tom Brady and Mo and the rest of the Raiders' brain trust there, I think you've got to you had to love what you saw last night. I mean, just the intensity of that kid, the way he can throw the football, that run he made on fourth down, which was just incredible. I think you got to be thrilled with what you were about to draft if you're a Las Vegas Raider.
Yeah, there is no doubt. Dude's toughness, he makes all the throws. You saw, I mean, they beat the hell out of that kid last night, and he just kept responding. And, you know, Curt Cignetti, he had a couple of great lines like, you know, he should just retire, but he needs the money. But it is special, especially when you're finishing a perfect season.
These guys made it happen. Let me tell you, we had some great senior leadership on this team. Nowakowski, Coogan, Fisher, Kamara, Surratt. You know, we got some underclassmen that are going to be going out. Fernando could be another one or two. But the seniors, this team was so close, so close. You know, when you have this much success year in, year out, your teams are always close. But this team was exceptionally close. And I think Fernando had a big part of that. And I think Coogan and Fisher and, you know, and going on the road with some of those wins, the Penn State game, what that did for this team, I can't measure. When we were down and out and all the odds were against us, 2nd and 17 running clock, minute 30, and all of a sudden we recomposed and found a way to get that done. That was incredible.
It really was incredible, and it was a good football game, though. I think that Miami team showed that they were for real. Obviously, They get to the championship game, but they've got some guys on that defensive line that are going to be first-round draft picks, and they're going to help some teams out. Maybe even a team like I don't know, the Dallas Cowboys, perhaps. Who knows? But those guys are going to be playing on Sundays next year. I just think it was just one of those games that I like the physicalness of it. The officials let them play, and it was just a good football game all the way around.
In the fact that it wasn't who we're used to seeing.
That too,
right?
Yes.
You know, college football has completely changed. You know, if you were in Vegas, what were they, 100-1?
Something like that. Crazy.
And only somebody with a degree from Indiana University would have dared to put $20 on that 100-1, right? It's incredible. And as Curt Cignetti said last night, their title, great for Indiana University, completely changes college football.
I think we sent a message, first of all, to society that if you keep your nose to the grindstone and work hard and you got the right people, anything's possible. In our particular situation in the athletic world, college football's changed quite a bit, the balance of power also. But we had the right people on our staff, in the weight room, in the locker room. And we had great senior leadership and togetherness, and we had a really good quarterback that played his best when the chips were down. And if you prepare the right way, which this team did week in, week out, and put it on the field, we met the challenge every single week, and we're 16-0. Are there 8 first-round draft choices on this team? Probably not. No, there aren't. But this team, the whole was greater than the sum of its parts.
I tell you what, they were a focused football team, that's for sure. He mentioned something after the game last night that they only trailed in one game this year.
Yeah.
And that was against Michigan State. It was 10-0.
Weren't they down to Penn State, too? They had to rally back and win that one.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. But it was 10-0 in that game. And then they rattled off 46 straight to kick Michigan State's butt. But it was a good football team, a disciplined football team. They didn't make mistakes. They're not going to beat themselves. And they certainly didn't last night. They played well. But I got to give Miami a lot of credit, too, man. I mean, shouldn't even have been there, according to the so-called experts. And they made a case for Miami football, and it's back.
Mario Cristobal obviously disappointed after the loss.
And it's not the result we wanted. Credit to Indiana. They're a great football team. But to these guys right here, I couldn't be more proud to be associated with them. I love them. They're absolutely incredible human beings, competitors, resilient. And I want to thank them and the rest of their teammates. And it's a tough one to have to eat, but we will. And that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all you can do.
Kirk, do I get a beer with you, man? I need one. I mean, because you saw how intense, and we've seen this from Cristobal through the years. That dude's intense. The way he handled things after the loss, credit to him. Now, he did have a player from Miami throwing a punch at an Indiana dude.
They're running back.
So it wasn't all. But in Cignetti, I mean, most people don't know who this guy is. His journey coming from JMU, and he gets there and turns him around in a hurry, and everybody's becoming a Curt Cignetti fan for obvious reasons. I mean, he was even asked, did you actually ever envision yourself winning the national title?
I knew in 3rd grade I wanted to coach. I've told that story many a time. I wanted to be like a Bear Bryant kind of coach. But when I was waxing staff tables at IUP when school was shut down for the playoffs, I never really thought this was possible. But I just kept working, and things happened, and here we are.
And here we are. And I tell you what, he has made a name for himself. And I guarantee you, whether he takes him up on it or not, there have been NFL teams calling his agent, saying, we're going to back up a Brinks truck to his house. Will that get it done? And I think they're going to continue to call. Now that this is over, it'll be interesting to see if he stays at Indiana. Mendoza's brother has entered the transfer portal. I thought he was the next. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see whether Cignetti wants to stay in college or does he want to step up to the pros.
Well, either way, he got one hell of a bonus for winning the national championship and also a new contract. In his contract, there was language that if you win a national championship, we'll redo your whole deal and to always make sure you're in the top 3 of the highest paid coaches in college football. So the Brinks truck is coming.
Yeah, it is coming. And, look, you're the king of the state of Indiana right now. And we've said that before, though, with coaches that leave Lane Kiffin. But I don't know. My gut tells me he'll stay at Indiana.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it tells me, and I think he will. But for how long? I mean, eventually a guy like that who has moved up in the ranks, and now you completed this, you've got a national championship on your resume. When's the next step? Next challenge.
The Big Ten SEC debate, and it honestly, could he be Nick Saban? Could he be Kirby Smart? Could one of those coaches that are just going to be there for a long time and build a superpower at Indiana? If he loves the state, his house, the support that he's getting, Mark Cuban writing checks, then, I mean, the way college football is changing. I mean, we were having beers last night at the Roo Pub watching that game with a couple of former high school head coaches here in town, and parents, and that kind of drives you from a profession. Now you got players and their agents, and so it does sometimes. Like, does he like all of the crap going on in college football, or does he just want to coach? And if he just wants to coach and deal with less BS, then maybe he does head to the NFL.
It's going to be interesting to see. He will have his opportunity, so you can bet your butt on that. No doubt about it.
Final AP rankings are out. No surprise, Indiana is number 1. Miami is 2. Ole Miss at 3. Oregon 4. Ohio State 5. Georgia 6. Texas Tech 7. One really interesting nugget, because we're biased here in the great state of Texas. We love our football. No state has ever had more than 3 teams ranked in the final AP poll. Texas, the great state of Texas, has 6 in the final poll for the 2025 season. Texas Tech at 7, Texas A&M at 8, the Texas Longhorns at 12, Houston at 22, North Texas at 24, and TCU at 25.
How about that?
Great football being played here in the Lone Star State.
It's the capital of football. I mean, don't let Florida tell you anything else, because they suck. All right, it's Texas.
I don't know if they suck.
They suck.
I mean, but the fact that no state has ever had more than 3 teams ranked, and Texas this year rolls in with 6 in the final rankings, that's impressive.
Happy for Texas Tech finishing at 7. That's good for them. I know they were disappointed. Texas A&M obviously disappointed in what happened to them. They finished at number 8. So I don't know why Notre Dame's at 10, to be honest with you. I really don't. I can't get it. You talk about a football program that is just, I mean, they're number 5 to begin with regardless. It's ridiculous just because their name is Notre Dame.
And because they recruit really good players and have a good coach.
Well, and he's another coach that is the NFL is trying to poach.
Yep.
Guarantee you there. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him bolt at some point in time. That is for sure. How about the Dallas Cowboys? What's the latest on their defensive coordinator search? The Tennessee Titans. Well,
you got your
got
guy.
the guy that I wanted. How about that? Mike McCarthy could get his dream job. And John Harbaugh, the new Giants head coach, had a press conference today. We're talking about all of that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, the big game is almost here, but every game is big when you play Prize Picks because it's so fun to be right. And when the big game comes around, I'm talking 2,000 times your money. But you got to remember something. That's the code Alamo. With $5, you can get $50 in free play when you go download the Prize Picks app. But when the big game hits, the specials are here, and we've got them. And I love Prize Picks because if my guy is winning, I can cash out early. That's one of the best things about Prize Picks is they take care of you from beginning to end. Prize Picks offers 2,000 times your cash. I've heard all different numbers, not 2,000 from other places. So when it comes down to the big game, and it could be that big game or any big game, Prize Picks makes it a big game. Download the app, use the code Alamo, and use some big free money to play in the big game. Prize Picks, let me tell you how good it feels, because it feels so good to be right.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-611-2046.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-611-2046. That's 800-611-2046.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Oh, my goodness. We are back.
Are we?
I hope. I think. Goodness gracious. I was going, well, that was kind of a quick break, wasn't it? Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Who knows? Doesn't matter. We're back, and I'm happy about that here on the Blitz on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star. Happy that you have joined us on this Tuesday afternoon. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minix.
So much going on in the world of coaching carousels.
Yeah.
I need some carousel theme music because you've got so many different openings. And the Cowboys defensive coordinator job, a big job, obviously. We pay a lot of attention to it because, well, we cover the Cowboys. But the domino effects, and I saw a tweet earlier from Ed Werder, and really got me to thinking because, well, I mean, Ed's great at what he does, right? He said Ed's tweet, it seems that Brian Schottenheimer has targeted some of the most popular young defensive coordinator candidates in the league. But the Packers, Niners, Steelers, and Giants are the competition. With 4 defensive coordinators in 4 years, Jerry Jones will have to convince them of job security, and that means paying competitive salaries. You know, it's kind of interesting, that last little nugget there. Jerry tends to lowball some of these coaches.
Sure.
Right? And when you're an older coach, when you're a guy that was a head coach that you're still getting paid off of that, you can go a little bit lower on that. You know what I mean? It will be interesting to see because I hadn't really thought about it like that. You know, coaches and stability. Because all these guys, well, they don't want to be in Dallas forever. They want to have a good year and then get their chance at being a head coach. But at the same time, do you want to go there where they've had a lot of turnover in that position?
Well, what did Eberflus? What was his contract? Do you remember?
I don't even know.
I know it wasn't a one-year deal, I don't think.
I know Zimmer was.
Zimmer was, but he was just a Band-Aid.
And I'm not sure about Eberflus, but Eberflus, if I remember correctly, and somebody could Google this pledge and find out for sure, weren't they able to on a salary, and assistant salaries aren't always put out there, or their contract terms until they're asked about it, but because he's still getting paid by the Bears, the Cowboys were able to get him a little bit cheaper.
Very true.
Which certainly becomes more attractive for Jerry Jones. Gannon would fall under that. That you might be able to get him a little bit cheaper since they're still getting paid out on another contract. But the idea, and this is something to watch, if one of these young coordinators that we don't have a lot of intel on, but they're the quote-unquote hot guys out there, does that mean Jerry ponied up? Or if they end up choosing the Giants or the Packers over the Cowboys, does that mean Jerry tried to lowball them and they told him to take a hike?
Well, it could be. That's possible.
Try to shove it up their ass.
By the way, you know, Green Bay's defensive coordinator is now the head coach in Miami, so that's why they have an opening at this point in time. And they have called this, or they want to talk to the kid the guy from Denver. The same one that everybody says the Cowboys are high on, Jim Leonhard, however you pronounce his last name. So there is going to be some competition for that guy. Obviously, Jonathan Gannon is going to have some competition. Christian Parker, another one, the Eagles passing game coordinator. He's another guy. So Ed's right. The Cowboys have some competition, and in competitive circumstances, you got to pony up if you want that guy. You're going to have to pay that guy.
Which, again, is, well, it's that double-edged sword. I don't want to sound like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. The Cowboys are casting a wide net, and I'm thrilled. They're doing things this year like a real organization should conduct business.
Sure.
Right? Interviewing a lot of different candidates, not just a bunch of retreads. You know, I like the fact that this list isn't full of household names that they've been a part of our lives as football fans for decades. Right? I like that. You know, like, who is that? All right, let me go do a little research. I like that. But that's not the Cowboy way. And Stephen can say that there's no timetable. And I appreciate that. There isn't. Get it right. But at the same time, there is urgency. And again, this is where I feel like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. Because if you've got a guy that you think is it, then why would you not get that deal done just in case the Packers or the Giants was 10 head coaches? They're all going to be looking to fill staffs.
Absolutely.
Right? So
yes.
These guys are going to be defensive coordinators somewhere. If you want them in Dallas, Jerry, you cannot lose in January. I mean, I know he's used to losing in January. He certainly doesn't win in January. But in this case, he cannot afford to lose. If there's a guy there, then make the offer and get it done.
That's what I say. I mean, look, if you like a guy and you want that guy, you might want to make that offer now before he gets another offer. And say, look, here, come to Dallas. This is it. You're not gonna make any more than this, perhaps, and get it done. But I also agree with Ed. There's got to be some stability there as well. If you're going to get a 3-year contract, and I wouldn't imagine it's going to be any more than that for a coordinator because of what you just said earlier, that they're going to want to go off and be a head coach somewhere. So if Jerry's waiting around for this guy from Denver, I think that's a mistake. Unless you've already got a deal with him, because if it comes down to that guy and everybody else is gone and you miss out on him, then you're in trouble.
Well, and again, there might be 3 or 4 that they really like. But if that's again, I'm with you. If you know you've got a deal with that guy, then okay, you can afford to wait. If you don't know, then you can't miss out on your option 2, which could be 1A, and we know how Jerry will sell it. And what's crazy is we're talking about Jerry Jones, and in the times that he seemingly can be cheap. There's no salary cap for coaches. There's no reason for him to be cheap when it comes to hiring a defensive coordinator. And maybe it's language in the contract. I don't know how those things work when it comes to coordinators, but base salary can be nice. And if you finish in, I don't know, the top 12, you get this bonus. If you finish in the top, do they do that with coordinators? Can they do that with coordinators?
Yes, I think you put it whatever you want in there. I just looked up what the average salary is for a defensive coordinator. So $1 million. Some salaries $3 to $5 million range. Vic Fangio's making $4.5. Steve Spagnuolo's making $5 million. So with any of these young guys, I wouldn't imagine they're going to command that kind of a salary. But you're looking at $1 to say $3 million a year for one of these guys, I would assume. So
and again, command. Kind of like quarterbacks, man. If you've got a good agent, and they should, and you're trying to create a marketplace for you, if there are 2 or 3 teams that want you, $850 could turn into 1.8 pretty quick.
Well, it could, but none of these guys, with the exception of Gannon, have been defensive coordinators before. They're looking to move up that rung on the NFL coaching ladder. And so I think that in a lot of ways, look, you know how it was when you're looking to move up, and you got to prove yourself. These guys are going to have to do that, and I think they know it, and it's going to be interesting.
What are you, Pledge is yelling at us from the other side of the glass?
He's talking to somebody over there.
Oh. I was like, what is that? What Pledge? If you're talking to us, talk to us. You have a microphone, man. I can't hear you through the glass. I just hear like you're in a McDonald's speaker.
Charlie Brown's teacher.
Yes.
Wah, wah, wah,
yeah.
wah, wah.
Yeah. So you must be thrilled. You're a Tennessee Titan fan. You've been saying for weeks that you want Robert Saleh. He is the new head coach of the Tennessee Titans, according to reports. Robert hasn't made it official, and neither have the Titans, but it's Shefty official, so that's
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good track record there. Look, I think it was a good hire because you got a guy who's going to come in and he's going to change the culture. What he did with that San Francisco defense this year is just nothing short of a magician. The way he strung that thing together with all the injuries, I think he can do that in Tennessee. Now, the question becomes, who do you get to work with your number 1 draft pick in Cam Ward and fix that offense? That's going to be something that's going to be interesting. But as far as the defense goes and the leadership skills of Robert Saleh, I think the Titans get an A for that hire.
Again, it's odd. They fired Vrabel.
Well,
which is proving to be a mistake.
Yes.
And they hired the closest thing to Vrabel that they could get, which tells me they knew it was a mistake.
Absolutely.
I thought for sure Tennessee was going to hire an offensive-minded head coach to work with Cam Ward. And the fact that they go Saleh. Now, that makes the OC job very, very interesting with who ends up in that gig. But I love the hire for the Tennessee Titans. But I'm a big Robert Saleh guy. Now, if you're a Pittsburgh fan, Mike McCarthy is set to interview there on Wednesday.
Now, in the story that I read this morning about this, the Steelers are high on McCarthy.
Sure.
He's a Pittsburgh guy or Pennsylvania guy, and he would love that job. And it's going to be interesting to see if he can sell himself enough to the Steelers and have a job for the next 20 years.
Well, see, that's it.
That's what happens in Pittsburgh.
I don't know that Mike McCarthy's got 20 years left. So this might be the shortest run for a head coach. I mean, do you think Mike McCarthy's still going to be coaching 20 years from now?
Well, I wouldn't think so, but you know there is some stability there for sure because Pittsburgh just is not in the business of firing head coaches once they hire one. They're pretty patient. But look, I mean, for a team that certainly needs their offense fixed, I think McCarthy fits that bill. He can rework that offense, and
they got to go find a quarterback.
Well, and true, and look, they're going to have to. They got a lot of work to do in that job because that defense, it's got a lot of names on it, a lot of high-priced guys, but they're all getting a little long in the tooth.
That's it.
So there's a lot of work to reestablish and rework the Pittsburgh Steelers. So
now, John Harbaugh did have his press conference today. New head coach of the New York Giants was asked right away. How much did Jackson Dart play in his decision-making?
You build your team around your quarterback. I mean, you build your team around your players and what they do well. And I like the way he plays. I mean, I like his talent, skill set, all the things he's accomplished. But more than that, I like who he is and what he's about. And to me, he's about football. I mean, this young guy loves football. He wants to talk football all the time. And that's kind of what I like doing, too. So I think we're going to have a lot of great conversations. And I can't wait to get started with him.
I tell you what, listening to this press conference today, Jason, I was fired up. Well, I tell you what, if you're a Cowboy fan, an Eagle fan, or a Command-Skin fan, you got to be a little bit nervous about that hire. I don't think the Giants are that far away. And you talk about a change in culture for a football program, Jim Harbaugh brings that immediately.
Cut to, Pledge.
It's impossible to say, but I'm planning on day one. So that's what we'll be shooting for. That's what we'll be working for, and fully expect it to happen.
Yeah, day one, he wants to start winning.
Yeah.
Day one, it is there. You know, what's interesting is he said today he never, ever thought about taking any time off.
As far as taking some time off, I figured I didn't have enough time to take time off. There's no time for that. So just couldn't wait to get back to work. That was never a question, really. Ingrid and I talked about it. Ingrid's ready to go, too, so we're fired up. And it had to be the right opportunity. This was kind of the obvious one from the beginning. This was the one, like I said, I wanted. And I wanted it because of that very thing you just talked about. We have an opportunity to go win. And I like these players, man. I had a chance to watch tape. I like the way they play. I like their style. I like how physical and how tough they are. And I know they want to be successful and they want to go to work. So absolutely we can do that, and that's our plan to do that. The plan is to win every game. I mean, one game at a time. You go into every game planning to win that game. That's our expectation. That's what we will be expecting to do that. But we've got to earn the right to expect that by how we go to work and prepare and what kind of a team that we make ourselves into.
Well, I'm assuming Ingrid's his wife.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just checking. I just want to make sure that Ingrid is. It's not the family dog
it
or
is,
something.
It's the family dog.
All right. So
no, it's his wife.
I'm glad Ingrid's fired up about this. But all of a sudden, the NFC East, the best coach resides with the New York Football Giants. without a doubt. I don't think it's even arguable. Look at the wheels are spinning over here. Don't you dare tell me that Brian Schottenheimer is on the level of John Harbaugh.
No, but, I mean, there are 2 Super Bowl winning head coaches in the NFC East.
Okay. It's, again, Dan Quinn.
I didn't say Dan Quinn. Nick Sirianni.
Well, I know. You said 2, did you not?
Yeah. Harbaugh's won a Super Bowl.
Oh, that's right. Dan Quinn's been to one, and he blew it to New England, didn't
Yes.
he? Yeah.
Yes.
Look, Sirianni.
28-3.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Really?
He's got a Super Bowl.
He does.
He's been to 2.
Yeah.
In, 4 years? I mean, Nick Sirianni's doing something right except hire an offensive coordinator,
So you're gonna tell
which I
me,
worry that he might get that right this offseason.
So Sirianni is you'd put him above John Harbaugh.
You said arguably.
We're arguing.
That
so
tells
tell
me you want to argue. So there's only one other guy.
Are you playing devil's advocate
all right,
or what?
Captain Obvious. I mean, yeah. And look, the NFC East could be really tough again. And one of the reasons that it took seemingly forever for Harbaugh to get that deal done with the Giants was control of the roster. So somehow Joe Schoen still has a job as GM, but I don't know if he's just getting coffee and bagels every morning because Harbaugh has final say on every player on that roster, but Joe Schoen said that's nothing to worry about.
And I'm not worried about that. Everywhere I've been in the league for 26 years. So everywhere I've been, the head coach and general manager work together. That's the only way it's going to work. And get on the same page, go through the process. Again, we've done it everywhere I've been. So I'm not worried about it. Like you said, that's just something on a piece of paper. Doesn't matter. We need to work together, and we're going to come to the final conclusion. And it's always going to be about what's best for the New York Giants. So I have no problem with that, and I'm looking forward to working with him.
He sounds worried.
Well,
I mean, he sounds worried.
He can't say he's got a problem with it since the owner put it in the head coach's contract.
Yes, he did.
Right?
So.
The owner was like, all right. I mean, you're right, Joe. You guys should work together. But you've always had the tie-breaking decision. You don't anymore. That belongs to Harbaugh. And considering how long it took, you must have fought your ass off in meetings to try to keep that decision-making power, kind of like what you're hearing has happened in Buffalo with Sean McDermott. Apparently, several weeks ago, he had a meeting with the owner and the GM and bitched about the roster.
Yeah.
Said this roster isn't good enough to win a Super Bowl. Well, that pissed off the GM.
Of course it did.
And the owner sided with the GM because they fired the coach and they promoted the GM, who's responsible for that roster that apparently Sean McDermott wasn't a fan of.
And look, McDermott was right.
Yeah.
He was absolutely correct. It wasn't. And now they've got to go out and redo and get Josh Allen some help, obviously. Although Josh Allen Josh Allen was terrible against the Denver Broncos. He was terrible. But they almost won that football game despite all of that. But they've got some work to do. Defensively, they've got some work to do, and they need a playmaker. There's rumor out there that they might take a swing at A.J. Brown, which is a possibility. And that could certainly change things there in Buffalo, without a doubt. So, interesting offseason to say the least. And it has started right now. We're not even in the offseason officially. But it's already been a lot of fun, no doubt about it. Some weird stuff going on, non-sports related, that's for sure. And one of it took place at a drive-through restaurant that would probably freak you out pretty much. We'll tell you.
Not probably.
We'll tell you about it, and you can decide when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know, our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs beat the Utah Jazz yesterday, 123-110. Victor Wembanyama, fresh off being named an all-star starter for the first time in his career, went off to the tune of 33 points. Spurs return to action tonight in Houston against the Rockets. Tip-off there set for 7 o'clock. And Robert Saleh is the new head coach of the Tennessee Titans, reportedly.
SportsCenter brought to you by Centergenics. Book your appointment at fixmylowt.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a Tuesday, we appreciate you joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Whatever you're doing, however you're doing it, thank you. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix, and a little chilly today, Minix. A little cool outside.
A little bit, welcome. It's January 20th. Winter is arriving. In fact, as you say that, I just got a press release from the Texas Rangers.
A press release?
Yes.
All right.
Due to the weather forecast for frozen precipitation in North Texas this weekend, the Rangers have made the difficult decision to cancel Saturday's Fan Fest at Globe Life Field.
Wow.
In the interest of safety for players, fans, and employees. If you bought tickets, you'll be refunded.
Well, that sucks. Come on, Texas Rangers. What the hell?
I guess they don't want you driving there because there's a roof on that stadium.
Exactly.
But the other part that's been kind of floating around about this Fan Fest is the banning of autographs. You can still take pictures with dudes, but they don't want just swarms of memorabilia types getting a whole bunch of autographs and going straight to eBay.
You know, what the hell's going
And now
on
they've
with the
just
Rangers?
canceled the whole thing because it might rain. Cold rain.
Yeah,
Frozen.
icy, freezy,
Yeah.
sleet.
Yeah. Did you say sleazy?
Sleazy.
It's going to be sleazy.
Sleety.
It's sleazy.
It could be sleazy.
I
Who
mean,
knows?
I'm sure there's some sleazy people that are showing up
I'm
there
sure
with a
I'm sure
bag
there will
of
be.
baseballs trying to get them autographed to go straight to eBay. Does that count as sleazy?
Well, I mean, if nothing else, shouldn't they reschedule the damn thing?
Well, when?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they'll go to training camp in or spring training in February, right? Pitchers, catchers, and all that stuff.
Yeah, because
they got time.
I'm not even sure if they were going to do the winter caravan here in San Antonio. I've seen nothing on that.
Interesting. Baseball season. It's creeping up.
Right around the corner.
It is creeping up on us. That is for sure.
About a month away.
Wow.
I'll be in Arizona for a little spring training.
How about that?
And Innings Festival. It's a great concert.
Concert season is coming up.
Yes,
oh, my
here.
goodness.
It is here. Good fun stuff. Let's do the Headline Blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. Two guys, two opinions, never enough time.
Can you imagine you're pulling into the drive-thru at McDonald's and a hearse is in front of you, and it's one of those hearses that have the windows so you can see there's a casket in there?
I have never seen a hearse like that. Have you? I mean, most of them have dark windows where you can't see what's inside.
Yeah, these had clear windows. Like, hey, look at me. I need a McFlurry on my way to the. I mean, bizarre. Like, I'm not sure. So it's a McDonald's in Australia, where the hearse was in the drive-thru, and somebody snapped a picture. And it's got over 1 million views and comments and all that kind of stuff. Apparently, this happens a lot.
It does.
Based on comments, one lady wrote, well, yeah, we did that for my daughter's one last coffee run. And then somebody else like, dude, I work at a funeral home. You can't even stop for gas if you've got a passenger.
Exactly. I mean, I guess if the family requests it, you do what the family wants, but a dead person back there. They don't give a damn what you want. Were you going to feed them the coffee?
Oh, but could you imagine? I mean,
you want a Big Mac before we put you 6 feet under?
You get to where, well, I mean, it ain't going to kill you at this point. You might as well. I mean, it is kind of bizarre, but those guys, if they've got a long drive ahead, they've got to eat, right? Can you imagine? You get there and, the pallbearer and you're getting the casket out and you go, smells like fries.
Yes. Unbelievable.
It seems a little odd.
It seems really odd. And I guess in Australia they have hearse with see-through windows.
Yeah.
I'm glad we don't here. Honestly.
When you see a hearse driving down the road, you don't check to see if it's
no. Why would I want to see that?
Carrying cargo?
No, I don't.
Well, you're not going to see the dead body. You're just going to see the casket.
It's sad, and I don't want to see it. And there's probably a bunch of cars and police officers behind it.
Well,
they're going to the graveyard.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Did everybody in the funeral procession have to go through the drive-through
with their lights on?
With their led by the motorcycle cops that are blocking traffic?
Exactly.
It's just odd, isn't it?
Wow. Now, Anthony on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page says he transported a body to Florida. The guy went to the beach first with a casket. Guy, I guess, wanted to go to the beach.
Wait, what?
Apparently, they took a casket to the beach in Florida.
So is Anthony the guy that used to be on here as I See Dead People?
I don't know.
Because we did have a guy. I hope he's still with us, but he hadn't commented as I See Dead People in a while. But he worked at a funeral home, so I could see that. Take him to the beach one last time. I mean, if you're paying for it, why not?
Well, I mean, that probably makes the family feel good, but I mean, the dead guy doesn't know he's at the beach. unless his ghost is there.
You get
I
your
don't know.
photos. And now if he's in a casket, I guess you're not dropping off some ashes there at the beach.
No.
Right? Or maybe. Although I will say this, though.
Anthony's a gravedigger.
Anthony's a gravedigger. All right, now I got questions for you, dude. Seriously. He brings up a logical
No, he puts people down.
Well,
he doesn't bring them up.
But he brings up a good point.
Yes.
If he's driving from San Antonio to Florida, at some point that casket's going to have to stop at Buc-ee's to pee and probably at a McDonald's drive-thru to get something to eat. At some point, he's also going to stop for gas. You just don't see it every day, or maybe he does because he's in that business. But if you are driving a body, and why wouldn't you fly the damn thing? But I digress.
Well, it's expensive.
If you're driving to Florida, wouldn't be?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, Anthony, at that point, you're on somebody else's dime. So are you going to McDonald's drive-thru, or you're stopping and having a nice sit-down meal at Applebee's or something?
Well, if you're Anthony and you had to drive all the way to Florida, yeah, you had to stop and get some food and all of that stuff. So that's a damn good question.
I mean, it's one of those kind of things that you realize, people die every day. They got to get to wherever their final resting spot's going to be. We just don't always think about how that happens.
No, we don't. But, it's interesting.
And why does the gravedigger drive somebody from here to Florida? Did they call you up and be like, dude, you've got to dig this grave for me? It's going to be in Florida.
He's in demand.
Yeah, I mean, you have, my friend, the best edges on building that grave, man. The corners are perfect. You've got to be the gravedigger for me. Because I imagine they have those in Florida.
Well, I would think so.
Why would the gravedigger be driving to Florida?
Because it's San Antonio. It's Texas. We're all the best. I told you Florida sucks.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So there you go. Gravediggers included.
Anthony, gravedigger in high demand.
Yes. Wow, he said.
Perfect 6 feet.
Do you see this? Oh, they had the casket on the back of a flatbed truck. It was a crazy thing the family requested. And I'm certain they had to pay extra for that, huh, Anthony? I mean, I would imagine. How much extra do you pay? Hey, dude, can you drive to Florida real quick?
On a flatbed.
I mean, Uncle Bob wanted to see the beach one last time.
Well, I mean, that makes sense if he's on a flatbed. I mean, and then you get down there, and then the casket's full of bugs, dead bugs that are part of the ride. Makes all the sense.
All right.
Hope it didn't rain. Let's shift gears.
Okay.
Last night, during the championship game, ESPN's cameraman focused right in on one very attractive lady.
Yes, this is true.
Apparently, and they did this a lot, but one in particular. And the comments are ESPN knew exactly what they were doing.
That's right after the Beck interception that kind of sealed the game, I think, is what they're talking about.
Apparently, they zoomed in on porn star Abella Danger. That probably wasn't by accident from one ESPN cameraman.
Well, he probably didn't.
He just lifts me every day.
I mean,
she's not a hooker. She's an actress.
She's a shiny person. He probably just thought she was a shiny person and not a porn star. I mean, how's he going to know that?
Well, I mean, there's lots of reasons why he could know that.
Stop it.
Now, and I'm guessing there are a lot of people watching that recognized her right away.
I'm sure. It's like, whoa, she has clothes on.
Maybe they didn't recognize her.
Didn't know.
They'd never seen her with clothes on.
Perhaps. ESPN does that a lot, though. They'll pick out some pretty folks in the stands, and I mean, I don't know what they do for a living.
I want me some glory hole.
Although maybe that guy did because he watches her.
It's possible. He, seemingly recognized
her.
Yeah. Well, good for them. And if you recognized her, congrats.
Yeah.
For the rest of you, you've got somebody to Google search later.
Try to shove it up their ass.
Abella Danger.
What a name.
I don't know if she's got that kind of girl, Pledge. I don't know if she's that kind of girl.
Did we say what she did for a living?
I know, but is every porn star
just stop.
Go.
Stop.
I don't know the answer to that.
Bronny James actually got 2 player votes to start in the NBA All-Star game.
Bronny has earned it.
What a joke. Now, one of them was his dad, I'm sure.
You don't know that.
Come on. Who else would vote?
You don't know that.
And then, LeBron said, hey, vote for my kid, or I'll kill you.
I'll kill you. Wow, that got extreme.
Bronny has earned it.
Dude, that's just stupid. It makes the whole process look dumb. Just dumb. You're not doing your kid any favors, LeBron. Back off. It's time for him to retire anyway.
Stop.
Bronny has earned it.
Stop. Tom Brady says he wants Leonardo DiCaprio to play him in a movie.
You know, what's funny about that is there probably will be a Tom Brady movie at some point in time. I saw there's going to be a series about Nick Saban coming out, I think on Netflix, just kind of a 5-part series on Saban and what he's done. Isn't Leonardo DiCaprio, though, in his 60s? He's an older dude, isn't he? And Brady's, 40, 50? I don't know. I just wonder if maybe DiCaprio would play the old man Brady at the end of the movie.
I don't know.
I'm curious.
Google later.
51 years old is Leo DiCaprio.
But isn't he the one that doesn't date anybody over 25?
No, he's that girl made a joke about that at the Golden Globes the other day.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny actually.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess
good
he
for
could play Tom Brady.
I mean, they have something in common.
What's that?
Stop. Hot girlfriends.
Oh, well.
Young.
Leo DiCaprio and Tom Brady, for goodness sake. There you go.
I like it naked.
And spicy.
Spicy and naked.
Unplug it, maybe.
Oh. That still cracks me up. Every single time. That cracks me up. Oh, how about those Spurs? They beat the Utah Jazz yesterday, but they did not cover the spread.
Of course not.
Glad I didn't bet on them because it was a 16.5-point spread. They only won by 13, for goodness sake. Tougher game for them tonight. They're in Houston up against the Rockets. Let's hear from Victor Wembanyama after yesterday's game. We'll do that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Spurs are playing tonight. You should be playing along on Underdog. Have a lot more excitement and interest in that game. Your chance to make picks and win money right now in Texas is at Underdog. Well, yeah, they got the NBA going tonight, this weekend with the NFC and AFC championship games. You know, early in the week, I love looking at the Underdog app and looking at the games in the matchups, especially with Denver, their receivers and their running game, higher or lower on some of their predicted totals, because that's what you do on Underdog. You take your players, your favorite players, and choose higher or lower on stats, whether it's passing yards, rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, that sort of thing. Get them all right. You could win up to 5,000 times your cash. So what are you waiting for? Download the Underdog app today. Use promo code STAR to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
George gets justice. In San Antonio, we look out for each other. So if someone's reckless driving puts you in the hospital, don't call some out-of-town lawyer. Call someone who actually lives here and will fight for what you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers. Because to George, you're a neighbor and he's got your back. And remember, you only pay if they win. Call 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetYours.com. Principal Office, San Antonio.
What is a buy bid? It is a bid to buy. For 25 years, I've been giving dealers buy bids on the phone for your trade-ins. You go to trade it in, they call me, they get a buy bid. Now I'm giving you a direct buy bid at GiveMeTheVin.com. We're going in front of the dealer, getting the buy bid straight from me, the man, John Clay Wolf at GiveMeTheVin.com. If I don't beat your CarMax offer, I'll send you a check for $100.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Straight Talk presents the math of more. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with a network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Celebrate the 17th annual Pork Rind Appreciation Day with PorkRinds.com and NFL legend Devin Hester. We're teaming up to support the Gridiron Greats Assistance Fund, helping retired players get the medical care they deserve. Want to get in the game? Visit PorkRinds.com to play their Crunch Time Hero game and enter daily to win a trip to the 2027 big game in LA, plus a year's supply of pork rinds. Grab the perfect low-carb snack and be your own Pork Rind Appreciation Day hero today at PorkRinds.com.
Hey, I got you something. What's this? Just a little Galentine's gift from Jewelry Television.
JTV, I love their jewelry. I had my eye on this pearl bracelet on JTV.com. Plus, I love their colored gemstone jewelry. And oh, have you seen their gold?
Right now, take up to 70% off select jewelry and gifts at JTV.com.
You are not going to believe their gemstones and their artisan collections. Gorgeous.
Are you going to open your gift?
It's a pearl bracelet.
Visit JTV.com.
This is the home of the Aggies, and this is Andrew Monaco. You're locked on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Jason, we've got some Parker McCullum tickets we're going to be giving away at some point in time during this show.
Nice.
He's going to be at the Frost Bank Center on January 31st, and we've got your tickets for free. Of course, you don't win tickets. You can always get them at livenation.com. But we'll be giving away those tickets at some point in time, so stay tuned. Keep it locked right here on 94.1. Does it sound like a DJ?
Well, it is National DJ Day.
Oh, it is?
It is.
Hey, I'm Joe, everybody.
We got Parker McCollum tickets coming up.
That's right.
Stick around.
Going to be in the Alamo Dome or Frost Bank Center.
Same thing.
Oh. That's right.
Where did that voice come from? On National DJ Day, that's what you go to?
It sounded a little goofy, did it? Well, they're DJs.
It did sound a little goofy.
They're DJs. Next on the main stage.
Yeah, but you don't have to sound like
it, baby.
You know.
Unplug it, baby.
That'd be a good stripper name, wouldn't it?
Unplug it, baby.
As opposed to Mercedes, Bentley,
Cheyenne.
Candy
Lee.
Candy Lee.
There you go.
Wow. Oh, interesting stuff. I did not know it was National DJ Day. We've got some DJs around here. Have you congratulated them and thanked them for being a great DJ?
No.
Where's Iris? Iris is a DJ.
She is.
Yeah.
DJ Mighty Iris.
That's right.
You had thought that, at a radio station there'd be cake or breakfast
There
tacos
should be, right?
or something, but no.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Wow.
You know, we're talk show hosts, not DJs. Or like our buddy over in London, a radio presenter.
Yes.
Oh, Will Gavin is blowing up.
Is he really?
Dude, he's been in the States for 2 of the playoff games. And his calls, he's doing play-by-play for Talk Sport, but live in person as opposed to calling it off of a monitor.
Nice.
And the booth cam, his broadcast, those clips are just going viral with his enthusiasm. Well, it'd be interesting to see if he actually ends up getting a gig in America and actually doing it.
That'd be interesting.
I mean, it would be cool. Can't wait to see him, man.
Pretty thick English accent.
He does.
Yeah.
But his play-by-play calls are incredible, but the enthusiasm there, even Richard Sherman tweeted about the enthusiasm and energy in his call. It's like, we need an alternate channel with him everywhere.
Well, that's really cool, and he's such a good guy. He really is. He's a great guy. Real quick, Adam Schefter's reporting the Packers have actually released Trayvon Diggs.
What?
Can you believe that? I wonder if Micah Parsons knows about this.
Don't be working out.
I mean,
wow. Huh. Well, there you go.
Now, I don't know if this is true or not. Mark McMillan just tweeted me and said that porn girl is actually Carson Beck's chick.
Really?
Is that true?
I don't know.
Pledge, you know that?
I think so. I read he was dating somebody.
Well, dating somebody or a porn star? Because wasn't he dating one of the
Cavender twins?
Cavender twins?
Cheated on her, so it makes
He cheated
sense.
on her with a porn star.
There you go.
Wow.
And now he's dating the porn star. Carson Beck is? Huh.
Huh. What do you say when she goes to work? Have fun, honey.
I think she
Oh.
Is she still or is she retired?
What's her name? Abella Danger?
Abella Danger.
I don't know if I can't look that up on a company computer, can I?
Well, that's what your phone is for.
Oh, okay, yeah. I guess I could do that.
Well, I don't know. Somebody knows that intel. Tweet Joe Reinagle some links.
Yeah.
He's got some homework to do.
Yeah,
he's got some studying.
Yeah,
he needs to review the tape and try to get better.
Yeah,
He'd be like the clapper, Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
Coach him up.
Abella Danger. I'm curious now.
Well, obviously, while Joe's looking up porn on his phone, let's talk about the Spurs game from last night.
Unplug it, maybe.
I mean, he's been shooting a lot of threes. In fact, you think about Wemby, and as well as he played last night. First half, it was Wemby and really nobody else. But Wemby was 10 of 18 last night, 7 of 12 from three-point range, and he talked about why he's been shooting so many threes the last couple of games.
Am I getting more and more respect? I guess so, yeah, because we're getting more and more respect as a team. You know, we're viewed as a dangerous team to play against now, you know. So it's just natural. But I didn't really think about that. I didn't even know until today that the voting were announced today. So it's you know, I'm full body deep into the season.
That's what it is. That had nothing to do with him shooting threes. This one does actually answer the question.
It is a game thing, but also I keep seeing trend over the season. You know, like periods of time where teams will guard a certain team a different way, and maybe, just maybe, you know, teams have been willing to like put me more on the 3-point line. But like today, I can see like my pick and rolls, they were going under. So I can still do it, you know, and it's just, but I'm lucky to have, you know, the ability to impact the game in different areas, and I'm ready to get any role, you know. But it's gonna be periods of times, you know. I might not try a 3 for the next 3 games in a row. It might just happen. I don't think I will, but anything can happen.
Look, I'm happy he's shooting more threes. I mean, the experiment, he's not an inside guy necessarily, although he's dangerous down there just from blocking shots, especially on the defensive end. But when you come down on offense and Wemby's at the 3-point stripe, name me one other guy on that Spurs roster you trust more to hit a 3 than Victor Wembanyama.
I mean, Champagne is the only other one, and that trust isn't really there. It's just you expect him to do it. He was 3 of 8 from 3. 12 to me is a lot of threes for him. But when he's hot and he's making them, go with it. He can play anywhere and he can do anything. And if that's what the defenses are gonna give, then you go with it. But I would rather him a little bit closer. And the fact is, he can get the ball at the 3 and in 2 steps be dunking it.
Very true. Very
I mean,
true.
It is there if it's there. It's part of his wheelhouse. I don't want him to become just a 7'18", whatever he is, 7'4", 5'8", whatever 3-point shooter. Right? He's got to have and do both a lot.
I like the odds though, or certainly the percentages. 7 out of 12 from the 3-point stripe is pretty damn good. I mean, 12 of his shots of the 18 he took were from the 3-point stripe. So I don't have a problem with it if he's hot. I'm with you there. But banging Wemby down low is just, even though he's taller than everybody, I just don't like that. Number one, because of the injuries that he suffered.
Do you think it's by design just to make the game less physical for him?
I think that could be a part of it for sure, because he has been a little bit dinged up. He's been getting his knees banged, by a lot of guys. And look, when you're on the defensive side of the floor, you have no choice. He's got to be there.
Yep.
But offensively, he doesn't. And I think you have him more to the outside because he's got such a pretty shot. I mean, it's just so smooth. It really is. And he's hitting those shots, and I like it. And I'd rather see him out there on the offensive side of the floor.
You look at last night's game, favored by 16.5. It was a tight game in the first half. They blew it open in the third quarter, outscored the Jazz 35-23, and then they get outscored by 3 in the fourth, which kind of flipped the line if you took the 16.5, which, again, I thought was just such a crazy big line because the Spurs don't tend to blow a lot of people out. And
well, for any team, that's a lot of points. I don't care who you're playing in the NBA. 16.5, that's a ton. Although the Dallas Mavericks covered that, then some. New York Knicks fans were booing the Knicks yesterday. And then OKC just beat the doors off of Cleveland yesterday. So there were some blowouts.
What is the line for tonight's game?
3.5. The Rockets are favored by 3.5.
Right. Okay.
That's what it was before the show when I looked at my app.
Mm-hmm.
I'll check it again before the show's over. But 3.5 was the number. Back to back for the Spurs. I don't know if the Rockets played yesterday or not, but Rockets are playing a little bit better than they were. They were kind of slumping there for a while, but they're playing a little bit better. That'd be a tough game either way because it's a natural rivalry game for the Spurs.
It is. And again, both teams good, so we'll see what happens. Wemby did talk after being named a starter for the All-Star game, first time that's happened. And, while he said he didn't know about it, there's photos of him watching the deal on TV.
I was glad. I was happy. I wasn't sure my name was going to be up there, so it's great, man. I mean, it's just another step, and I was really happy to learn that I'm the first French guy to get that. So I'm proud of this.
First French guy to get that. How about that? Who knew?
Yeah.
So Gobert's never been a
starter.
A starter? Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Or Parker.
Or Parker, yeah.
Rockets did play the Pelicans yesterday. They won 119-110.
Okay.
And that was actually on Sunday. So they're a little bit, they got an extra day of rest. The other thing that I find interesting with the Spurs in that photo, you know how they always say they don't watch and they don't listen?
Right.
If you see that photo that the Spurs put out, it's Wemby and Mitch Johnson and whatever meeting room that they're in, desk. I don't know but they're watching this big old TV, and above the TV is a bunch of channels. Clearly, they have DirecTV based on the channel numbers that were there, and all of them are sports-related channels listed in that photo. So don't tell me you don't watch. They know exactly what they want to watch. It's all sports. And they had basically the TV guide at the top of that so people could walk in and go, hey, what channel is that? ESPN 206, let's go there. Right? I mean, you see that photo, It's all the sports stations.
What are you trying to say?
Well, all these teams, we don't watch, we don't pay attention. You go in any facility in the NFL, it's on ESPN and the NFL Network on all the TVs. Spurs posted a photo. It's all sports stations listed up there. You didn't get, the Food Network. You didn't have HGTV, National Geographic, all the news. No, it's all the sports stations.
Of course it is.
Yes.
They watch. Anybody says they don't watch,
Yes.
they're not telling you the truth. By the way, fun fact from Tom James, the head of the PR department over there, the sports media information. He says, De'Aaron Fox, since he made his debut in 2017, only 3 players have amassed 12,000 points, 3,000 assists, and 800 steals. The Joker's 1, James Harden is 2, and De'Aaron Fox is 3.
Wow.
Pretty good company for one De'Aaron Fox. So the next time you guys want to complain about D. Fox, don't. We're glad to have him here.
We are glad to have him, but we can still complain when he plays like crap.
Well, we can, but
that's what we do.
Okay, all right, I guess we're complaining then. I know another guy that's probably going to complain a little bit about his Houston Texans, ND Kalu.
Ooh.
Yeah, he can't be happy about it. Those wet dreams turned into nightmares, didn't they? Oh, my goodness, ND. He'll tell us all about it when he joins us next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast because, of course, you do. The best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 is the phone number. You can even text bail to 474747 or start the bonding process online. MyBestBailBonds.com is the website. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, your best option is AA Best Bail Bonds for stress-free bail bonds. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail. A lot of reasons for that. And you certainly don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, really make sure you understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 to get you out fast. License number 149, whether you're up in Dallas, down in Corpus, here in San Antonio, anywhere in between. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a hump day on the Morning Huddle. Back-to-back for San Antonio for the Spurs. How do they look after 2 coming out of Houston?
And the coaching carousel continues to turn. So many places still open. We'll talk coaching. We'll talk NBA. And, oh, by the way, we got a Super Bowl just around the corner. Lots to talk about. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it,
And now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
The football playoffs are here, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the gridiron action. You can make picks and win money right now here in Texas, and it is so easy. You pick your favorite players. Are they going to go higher or lower on their stats? Touchdowns, rushing yards, receptions, whatever. You get it right, you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. And I think there's some great opportunities right now because we know some of these teams really care. Some of these teams really don't care. So some of these star players, you expect maybe they'll go out and play a couple snaps and be done for the day. Maybe look at some lowers on them. Maybe take some hires on some of the backup guys you think will get some run. Either way, there's always plenty of action to be had on Underdog. What are you waiting for? Download the app today. Use promo code Alamo. You'll get $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Alamo. Underdog. Make picks and win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Straight Talk presents The Math of More. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with a network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
That's what every Texan fan was saying on Sunday. Turn the TV off. I'm tired of this stuff. Texans with a rough day. CJ Stroud with a rough day on Sunday against the Patriots. And now, well, they look to the offseason to see how they can fix things. This is the Blitz on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He's Jason Minix.
And our resident Texans expert, Texans legend, San Antonio Sports Hall of Famer, ND Kalu on the Buyers Barricades guest line. I just knew last week when we were talking today, we'd be talking about the first ever trip to the AFC Championship game. How stunned are you with what you saw from CJ Stroud?
Stunned, disappointed, and this is one of the few times where a loss as a fan, you know, not as a player, but as a fan, kind of lingered and stuck with me. Typically, when the game's over, I'm like, you know what, it's just a game, move on. But this one bothered me because you don't get to see defenses like that every single year, especially if it's your quote-unquote team that you root for. And it just feels like it was wasted because that was one of the best defenses I've seen in a long time. And I truly felt like all you needed to do was be average on the offensive side of the ball, and that defense was going to carry you to the Super Bowl. You were horrific on the offensive side of the ball and still almost had a chance to win. Like that loss, that one really hurt. That one really bothered me.
Yeah, ND, you're exactly right. I think it was 21-16 at one point, despite all the
late
turnovers.
Third quarter.
And it's just, but you know, Jason and I have been talking, ND, and I'm curious to get your thoughts. And I'm not saying that this defines C.J. Stroud's career, not even close to it. But the Texans have to start thinking because he's coming up for a contract extension. I think they'll probably do his 5-year deal and
fifth-year option.
Fifth-year option, but then after that, they got a decision to make. What decision should they make?
No, you don't make a decision until, like you said, after that 5th year. I think, in my opinion, all C.J. Stroud has done is played himself into a season where he has to prove it. But look, if I was Cal McNair and his agent knocked on my, and for those that don't know, Cal McNair is the owner of the Texans, and if C.J. Stroud's agent knocked on my door and said, "Hey, I want to talk extension," I would beat him with a bat. I would literally be like, "Oh yeah, Come sit down at the conference table. Let me go get my GM, and then I would just beat him with a bat because all jokes aside, all I think is, yes, they're going to pick up the fifth-year option. You almost have to do that. But you don't even talk extension. You don't even talk, in my opinion, negotiations until after next season if he proves himself. Because whether it's, no matter how harsh it may sound, it feels like he regressed since his rookie year. So why would you sign him to a long-term deal unless he takes some kind of huge discount, which I don't see him doing?
His agent is David Mulligetta. He is not taking any kind of a discount. But you're right, he has regressed. It doesn't seem like it. He has regressed since that incredible rookie year, one of the best rookie years we've ever seen a player produce at the quarterback position, and he hasn't been that guy. So not only ND Kalu do I think that the Texans just pick up his fifth-year option, you got to start finding his replacement this year. Whether you draft a quarterback, you look at free agent potentials, could Davis Mills be that guy? Mac Jones, a Malik Willis. I don't care if he's uncomfortable in the quarterback room, knowing that, yeah, we found our guy. I just can't see Houston signing him to a deal like Tua or even Trevor Lawrence. Now, Trevor Lawrence had a good year this year, but when he signed his deal, people are like, what the hell are you doing? Because it's time. And do you do what every team always does? All right, sign him to a deal hoping he's the right guy. Or this offseason, do you go looking for your next starting quarterback?
You know what? I don't know, Jason, if it's replacement, but I was talking to a buddy of mine, and I said you absolutely have to draft or bring in competition. There isn't anything about this season where you say, oh, no, we don't need to draft a quarterback, and you just draft that proverbial seventh-round quarterback just to be a camp body. I'm like, no. I do believe that it should be that third or fourth-round pick used on a quarterback to make that seat uncomfortable, whether it's the kid out of Vanderbilt who might drop because of his size, but he's just a gamer to me. A guy like that you bring in just to make that seat uncomfortable. I'm with you, but I'm not ready to say replacement because with what he's shown, I still believe his ceiling is high, but he just has to consistently reach that ceiling. And if it's bringing in competition, if it's bringing in somebody else who's in his ear, whether it's the quarterback coach, they're going to have to do something. But I 100% agree with the idea of bringing in real competition. Like I'm talking about during the preseason, CJ gets the first 3 series and fill in the blank, whoever that competition. And it's not Davis Mills. Davis Mills is a good backup, but I'm talking about somebody that is going to push him to be the starter and bring out the best in him. He gets the other 3 series with the first-team offense. Like that's what I want to see. I want to see when guys aren't comfortable and they're competing.
Well, ND, and you know how the NFL works better than anybody, but, I mean, Will Anderson Jr. is probably going to get his extension this year. So the Texans are going to have to start paying some money. And you know what that does to rosters sometimes? Sometimes you have to cut corners in other places. Do you think that defense gets hurt by that, or can they keep this group together?
No, it'll be ridiculous to expect this defense to play the way they played this year and next year. And I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer. I'm just talking about, one, the greatness of the defense, the way they gelled, not just the nucleus, but the ancillary players, how they just fit in. And then keep in mind, this defense was healthy late in the season. So you can't go into any season expecting to have all your aces. Just look at the San Francisco 49ers and what they suffered on their defensive side of the ball. So no, I don't think and I don't think it's going to be because of the well-deserved contract that Will Anderson's about to get. When Will Anderson signs his contract, he will be the highest-paid defensive player in the history of the NFL. And that'll probably last a week or two. The way we see things work, but it'll be well-deserved. But I don't think that's going to be the reason why the defense suffers. I just think that they had a historic run that you can't expect to have every single year.
ND Kalu here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. ND, take us inside the locker room for a moment. You just described the historic run that defense was on, a defense that could have carried this team to the Super Bowl with decent, average quarterback play. Not even great, not elite, just be average. Don't screw it up. Now, I know DeMeco Ryan says, I got CJ's back, never even thought about benching him. all the defensive players said all the right things when talking to the media. What were those defensive players saying on the sideline after yet another interception, in that locker room when they were stuck on the plane in the snow and couldn't get out of there, knowing their run ended because their quarterback was awful?
What was being said on the sideline during the actual game and in the locker room and on the plane, two entirely different things. Like, this defense, they're a bunch of madmen. Like they're a little psychotic in a good way. They're the type of defense where if the offense throws an interception, instead of thinking to themselves, God, dog, we got to get back out there, they're literally like, oh, good, we get another chance to go knock somebody's head off. Like, I was lucky enough to play on a defense like that once or twice, and I feel like that's this defense. But if I'm going to be real and transparent, my guess would be when they're sitting on the plane and they're looking at each other, they're kind of side-eyeing each other like, you know what, these fools on offense, they better just take a nap on the way home and not say anything, because if I see one of them smiling, if one of them is smiling, there's going to be a problem on the plane. But this defense, they're going to say all the right things. They're going to be great teammates. But when they're together, when they're grabbing a beer or whatever they're drinking nowadays after the season, yeah, I'm sure they're going to say some things that they would absolutely never say to the public.
Well, they're drinking Mai Tais in Cancun, unfortunately, right now, and that's what they're doing and probably talking about it down there. But so, look, CJ Stroud, somewhat to his defense, but he made some really dumb plays that were just he shouldn't have made. However, he didn't have his two wide receivers, both gone. Dalton Schultz gets hurt early in that football game. The running game it wasn't very good on Sunday, let's face it. Now, Patriots defense is not as bad as some people might think. He's going to get those pieces back next year. That's got to help him a little bit. And there will be no excuse once that happens. And so I think you're right. The fifth-year option, you pick that up and you see how he does before you make a further decision. But I got to believe that Nick Caserio, in the back of his mind's going, man, I just don't know.
No, with everything you said is a good excuse. Is a good reason for why he didn't play great ball or even good ball. But at the same time, he led us to believe by his play, and this is me giving him props, I'm not saying anything negative, but he led us to believe by his play as a rookie that he doesn't need to have that perfect surrounding to have success. You know, when you think of the top-tier quarterbacks who carry their teams to victory, it's usually a lot of times where you might not know who the receivers are, who the tight ends are, because they're that good. I mean, look, I hate to bring up the name Tom Brady because he's the greatest. He's the true GOAT when it comes to the quarterback position. But how many years did he have wide receivers where we actually had to, like, log in to NFL.com to remember who his top receivers were? And I know he had some years with Randy Moss and obviously the great Gronkowski. But if you're going to be that top-tier quarterback, if you're going to walk in to the negotiations with the general manager and say, hey, I should be making $50 million a year, yeah, when Nico Collins goes down, when Schultz goes down, you're still expected to play well.
ND Kalu here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. CJ Stroud is the first player ever with 5+ interceptions and 5+ fumbles in a single postseason. There is that. I mean, it's just mind-boggling how bad he was late, and especially in the playoffs. And that game against Pittsburgh, if they're playing any offense that, if he had that performance, say, against Baltimore, had that kick made it, they lose that game. How does one explain in football terms what you saw from a quarterback in 2 playoff games?
It's hard to explain it, but like you said, that was historically bad as far as the stats go. And I didn't even realize that, Jason, until you said it. So it kind of caught me off guard. But that's historically bad. So just the fact that you said that's the first time. Yeah, it's record-setting. Like, that kind of answers the question. And again, to stay on something positive, but it doesn't matter because this is a team sport made up of 3 phases: defense, offense, and special teams. But it just goes to show how great that defense was. I mean, to win one of those games and to actually still be in it going into the fourth quarter of another game when your quarterback has a historically bad game, like that's it's a nod to the defense, and at the same time, it's like you can't just go into this offseason saying, okay, everything's going to be all right. Like they need to put their heads together and figure out a way to get this offense rolling.
You know, it is what makes it so sad because it took a fabulous play by the Patriots receiver Booty to break that game open. Otherwise, the Texans are still right there in it if the offense could have done anything. The problem is I never had any faith they could get anything going against that Patriots defense.
And you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. That catch by Booty, I mean, when you watch it and you say, okay, what could Stingley have done? And you're like, nothing. Like, it was great coverage, but it was dang near a perfect pass and a perfect catch. So you don't mind losing a play like that. If that's how you lose a game, you almost don't mind losing a game like that. But it's the other horrible plays that we witnessed, and you can point to and say that's why the Texans are going to be sitting at home this weekend. And then when you look to see the quarterback that they would have been facing, it's like, oh man, talk about pouring salt in the wound, knowing that can you imagine this defense facing Jarrett Stidham?
Oh.
Like,
I mean, it's a free pass to the de facto AFC Championship game was in Foxborough, right?
It was.
And I guess part of the difference, no matter how great Houston's defense is, CJ Stroud with the 4 interceptions. I mean, Josh Allen lost a couple of fumbles and threw a couple interceptions, and you always kind of felt like, well, it's Josh Allen. He's going to have his team in position to win. With CJ Stroud, as a fan, you don't have that confidence.
I watched both games. I know a lot of people are throwing out there, why isn't Josh Allen getting the same hate? And I don't have a dog in the fight when it comes to the Buffalo Bills or Josh Allen. But I watched the game. It didn't and correct me if I'm wrong or let me know y'all take. His was bad, but it didn't feel as bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
When I watched Buffalo, I was all, and when the game was over, I was like, oh man, Josh Allen had a rough day. But even with his turnovers, it didn't feel like he lost the game. And I don't know why I'm being biased. Maybe I'm racist and I'm sticking up for the white boy and not the brother. Maybe I'm an Uncle Tom or something. But when I was watching the game, maybe I'm a self-hating Uncle Tom or something. But when I was watching the game, I didn't feel like, you know what? It could be because I really didn't care if the Buffalo Bills won. Maybe that.
No, because you blame the referees and those calls that they were making late. That's why Buffalo lost the game. Buffalo, but I think it's just your confidence that Josh Allen is, a little Brett Favre-ish, sometimes a little reckless with the football, but at the same time, he's going to make enough plays where you're going to win. With CJ, he was reckless, and you just never thought he would get on track. Like, I thought the only way Houston could pull that off when it was 21-16 is the defense was going to have to score. And there was a couple of fumbles they forced with Drake May, and it felt like those guys were trying to scoop and score instead of just falling on the football, and then they didn't get those recoveries because they were trying to scoop and score. The defense knew they had to score if they were going to win that game.
Yeah, and that's, look, people say that jokingly, like, the defense is going to have to score if they're going to win. Like, when we were watching it here at my house, we were like, no, the defense has to win. Has to score. And we actually thought they could score. Like, we were excited and anxious, like, okay, the defense is going to score here. Like, how crazy is that you truly have to rely on your defense to score? But again, I think, you get some pieces back on offense. CJ Stroud being the type of competitor that he is, he could have been one of those guys that he was fighting through an injury and he's not going to disclose it. But that did not look like the CJ Stroud that the Houston fan base has come to know.
Well, I mean, let's face it, ND against Pittsburgh, the defense had to score a couple of times to put that thing out of reach. It was 7-6, remember, in the fourth quarter of that football game.
No, and that's why, because they did score and we've seen it. And we've seen it time and time. We have a freaking defensive lineman who has 2 touchdowns on the season. Like, we're used to seeing them score. That's why against New England, I was like, okay, we've been here before, and they've answered the call. And with everything that I'm saying, and I'm a guy who likes CJ, it's got to be tough for him. I don't care how much money he makes. Like, that's got to be tough to be that young. I'm sure he's on social media, and the memes are going crazy. that's got to be tough. So I hope, because he's such a good kid, person, or portrays to be one, that he truly does bounce back from this.
What is the talk in Houston? Are they just killing him there in Houston on Sports Talk Radio?
Oh, it's all over. Yeah. They're just like the majority. They're killing him on air. They're calling for a replacement. They want to, of course, fire everybody at the top. But it's tough, and you could imagine when you're this close and you haven't been. I think they're the only team in the AFC who's not been in a conference championship game, and you're that close. And the reason you're not there is solely on the quarterback. Yeah, you can imagine what the radio airways are like.
And man, I just can't wait for him to get the Dak Prescott treatment. It's still pretty mild compared to if Dak would have done that, or Josh Allen. If Dak, I mean, it's just incredible that somehow Dak has become the benchmark for that when he's got no playoff success what to speak of. When you know your teammates going through that, and even as a defensive player, you're mad as hell at your quarterback because he is the reason why you are, making your beach resort reservations. Do you think those defensive guys are calling CJ and just trying to keep his head up, tell him, and love you, man, it's gonna be all right. Let's get together and do some work, or are they just completely ghosting the dude?
No, 100%. What you said first off, they're calling him and saying, "Hey, don't listen to anybody outside of this locker room. It's us against the world. Don't listen to the idiot former players who are talking to those cool guys in San Antonio. They don't know what you're going through." Like, it's us against everybody. They love you when you're up. They're gonna hate you when you're down. That's why you don't need to listen to them. But those guys on defense, I 100%, just having met them and talked to them during the preseason away from the mic, I know that they're rallying around CJ.
Well, Indy, I hope you get over it soon,
Absolutely.
my friend.
All right, now that football season's officially over, Indy, how long before you reach out to your bestie and D'Amico Ryans and invite him over for barbecue?
You know what? I sent him a text after the game. He still hasn't responded, so maybe he knew what I was going to say today with y'all. But you know what? All jokes aside, I've challenged myself. I really want to immerse myself in the spring football league. Like the Houston Gamblers. I know San Antonio doesn't have a team this year, which kind of sucks.
Not kind of.
But yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah.
But I've told myself I might even go on a road trip just to watch a game, like, because I like developmental football. Don't ask me why. Like, I like to pretend I'm a general manager and you see, this guy, he could probably play in the league. So I think I'm gonna really just kind of get into it and really focus and watch as many games as I can.
Man, your kid must have got one hell of an NIL package from Florida for you now to have travel plans.
Yeah.
Well, travel, I'm talking about the team that's here in Houston. It's just a 30-minute drive to their stadium.
When you said
I
travel,
live in Missouri
City,
but
to
it's in
Florida
Houston.
or wherever they've got teams now, not in San Antonio. So the hell with them.
Yeah, I was really upset. Why did they get rid of the San Antonio Talons?
Well, the Talons were an arena team from 2011, 12, 13. We had the Brahmas here.
Brahmas. I'm showing my age. Wow.
Yeah. Stadium's too big. The new owner guy wanted everything in smaller, more intimate stadiums, which is why you see him playing in a lot of the MLS stadiums.
Oh, yeah, that is true. Because the Houston, they're playing in the Dynamo Stadium. So interesting.
Yep.
Did not know that.
They just don't.
I guess
like
it makes
us.
sense for
They don't like us, Indy. We're always the bridesmaid here in San Antonio, never the bride.
I hate the fact that San Antonio supports Dallas so much, and Dallas is the reason why San Antonio doesn't have an NFL team. Because Jerry Jones.
That's not true.
That's not
Jerry Jones.
No.
Because he knows.
Not Jerry. And actually, I remember having a conversation with the late, great Bob McNair, when there was talk about the Raiders that were, and Mo was here doing tours and stuff. Jerry didn't give a damn. The Texans didn't want an AFC team coming here because back then all the AFC games are on CBS, and that would have affected the Texans' growth in the state of Texas. The Texans were a bigger roadblock than Jerry Jones
and the San Antonio Spurs, Indy.
and the Spurs.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, they want a monopoly on all the sports teams here.
Okay, I guess I got to quit listening to my barbershop conspiracy theories. Because
Everybody blames Jerry for everything. We all know that. You know. Come on.
It's all right.
Okay, well, you know what? I guess I won't repeat that.
Yeah. Jerry.
And I can tell y'all both agree. So it must be true.
And that's
y'all both
unusual.
agree.
Yeah, that is unusual.
Yeah.
I have the privilege and opportunity to run the NFL.
Yeah, Jerry can run the NFL.
Yeah.
Now he might. I mean, he publicly says he doesn't mind it if San Antonio got a team, but
privately he may say something different.
Yeah, I
it's,
mean,
it's a lot of the Spurs
but
here.
the
honestly.
Texans would fight it a lot more than the Cowboys.
Okay. Well, I'll just keep that between myself and my barber.
There you go. Go correct them later. ND, always appreciate it, my friend.
All right, when y'all want to talk spring football, I'm here too.
All right.
when your three listeners, the three listeners who care about that, let me know.
It's the same for the Texans fans. It's,
Yeah,
it's
you
all
know.
good. Anytime we get to have you on,
Yep.
it's always fun. ND, appreciate you, man. San
Y'all keep up the
Antonio
great work.
Sports Hall of Famer ND Kalu on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com.
Always run late with ND, but it's always worth it. So we got to get out of here, take a break. We will return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You want to get real about your health this year? You can do that with Centergenics and Low T Center. They got locations all over the San Antonio area, and they're real about what they do. And in today's world with AI, you don't know what's real and what isn't anymore. Sometimes you can't even trust your own eyes. When it comes to your health, and the experts at Centergenics and Low T Center, it is very real that they can change your life for the better. If you've been suffering from the symptoms of low testosterone, always tired, lacking focus, just feeling off, Centergenics and Low T Center, get in, meet with a real provider, not a chat box bot on a website. They've got the experts with superior medication service and support, and they've been doing it for well over a decade. The free TRT test is available right now, free. Go to one of the centers, take the test. The on-site lab means you're going to get your results in about 20 minutes. You don't have to wait for days like at other places. And if you need it, you can start services right away. And you can choose. Do you want to be treated in the center or get at-home treatment? It is that easy. Ladies, for a limited time, the women's hormone test is only $99. Normally it's $299, so right now you can get in and save $200 on the hormone test for ladies. Don't wait. Fix your health now. Go to the website, getmyhealthfix.com. Getmyhealthfix.com.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
Joe, I've invented the perfect exercise machine. It's practical, efficient, and fits in any home. I give you the Row and Go. Ta-da! It's a rowing machine that connects to your toilet, so you can row and...
Stop. Folks, at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC will help homes stay in tip-top shape. Call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899.
License number M16004, TACLA 141074E.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Hey, the big game is almost here, but every game is big when you play Prize Picks because it's so fun to be right. And when the big game comes around, I'm talking 2,000 times your money. But you got to remember something. That's the code Alamo. With $5, you can get $50 in free play when you go download the Prize Picks app. But when the big game hits, the specials are here, and we've got them. And I love Prize Picks because if my guy is winning, I can cash out early. That's one of the best things about Prize Picks is they take care of you from beginning to end. Prize Picks offers 2,000 times your cash. I've heard all different numbers, not 2,000 from other places. So when it comes down to the big game, and it could be that big game or any big game, Prize Picks makes it a big game. Download the app, use the code Alamo, and use some big free money to play the big game. Prize Picks, let me tell you how good it feels, because it feels so good to be right.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by February 11th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
The Tennessee Titans reportedly are finalizing a deal with 49ers defensive coordinator and former Jets head coach Robert Saleh to be their next head coach. The Cowboys, meanwhile, interviewed former Arizona Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon for their defensive coordinator job last night. They'll interview Eagles passing game coordinator Christian Parker today. Still interest in Broncos pass game specialist Jim Leonard, according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a Tuesday. Hope you're having a great Tuesday out there, whatever you're doing, however you're doing it. A little chilly day here in San Antonio, without a doubt. But this is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. He is Jason Minix, and we're just thrilled to have you along this afternoon.
Yeah, we certainly are. And again, it's a little chilly today. Apparently that cold weather is rolling into town.
Apparently so. So I wore a little extra thick, quarter zip or whatever you call these things, and wish I wouldn't have. Holy cow.
Sweaty?
So, well, not sweaty. I walked out where the air conditioner actually works out there and cooled off a little bit.
It almost feels criminal that they haven't fixed the AC in this room yet. Right? I mean, and there's some, I don't know, corporate contract dude and whatever. I asked them, I'm like, when are we going to fix that? Well, it's the this. I'm like, all right, but when are we going to fix this, right?
We have such a rough job. The working conditions are terrible, are they not?
Well, they are right now.
Well, I think that's what people are. You two knuckleheads in there talking sports all day for 4 hours, and you complaining about the air conditioner off. Well, we're divas. I mean, we can't get away from that.
It is National DJ Day. Probably National Diva Day. There are very few things that you can be diva-ish about. Having an air conditioner that works is one of those things, right?
Yeah, that would be nice, to be honest with you, but I'm not sure when that's going to happen. So, wife beater, if you see me in a wife beater tomorrow in shorts, you'll know why. I wore my warm clothes to come to work and then changed as soon as I got here.
So, Pledge, do we have a rando T-shirt rolling around somewhere that he could throw on? Did you give Alexandra back her sparkly Aggie shirt? It's still here?
He wants to keep it.
You can wear that.
No, it's up front waiting for her to pick it up. But, I mean, if you want to throw it on.
That wouldn't fit halfway over my belly. You kidding me? and these guns and this big chest, you know.
Really?
Dude,
In other words, you would rather sweat than wear that shirt.
Well, I'm not wearing that shirt. Can't believe Pledge wore that damn shirt.
Me neither. Pledge should have made that his profile picture.
I'm telling you. Although I don't blame you for wanting to keep that thing, Pledge. I mean, geez, Alexander, you may never get that shirt back.
Well, apparently it's up front.
Well, apparently. Have you seen it?
Well, no.
We're taking Pledge's word for it.
I mean, Pledge isn't going to lie.
Alexandra may have tried to come by and get that thing, and it wasn't there.
No, Iris was asking me today. Are they coming by to get their stuff? Her and Cowboy James, both their stuff's at the front.
Wow. All right.
Wait, Alexander said she stopped by yesterday. No one was there. Dude, it was a holiday. Hey, you came by on a holiday, right? No, there were people here, like Edwin was working, but he doesn't know how to answer the front door, and why would he? But you come on a holiday. I mean, do you think the suit side of the world they're like bankers. They're not working.
Salespeople aren't working on a holiday.
No.
Are you kidding me?
No, front desk? No.
Front desk? Nothing. Yeah, no. We had to work yesterday.
Well, yeah, but we get like a free day off now because we worked a holiday.
Well, that's true, and that's a good thing, I suppose.
Apparently nobody was here yesterday. Hell, our equipment even wanted to take the day off yesterday.
Sure
Are you kidding?
It tried to.
It tried to.
It did,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Glad that's behind us, and it was still a great time out at the Root Pub. I tell you what, last night, the Root Pub and next door at the Angry Elephant crowded.
Yep.
I mean, there were a lot of folks in there enjoying what turned out to be a spectacular football game.
It really was. Interesting nugget on one Carson Beck. In this dude's career, and he's played a lot of football games, he's lost 6 games in his entire college football career. In 4 of those games, the final offensive snap was Beck throwing an interception when he had a chance to win the game.
Wow. That's a pretty eye-opening stat.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if his porn star girlfriend is upset by that.
Did we confirm that he's dating the porn star? So we just go with whatever the dude tweeted and said that.
Well, no. There's TMZ has got an article on her right now.
Oh yeah,
saying she's very upset with ESPN for putting her on camera last night. She didn't want to be filmed.
Wait,
she said
she was mad. She was on camera.
Yeah, that's what she's telling
she wasn't
TMZ.
getting paid.
Apparently not. She wasn't working.
There's a difference. You know, filming her costs money.
Her vibrator was in the closet.
Unplug it, maybe.
She wasn't.
She
happy.
posted a video on Instagram talking about how proud she was of those guys and the team, and even though they lost, that they proved to be there. You know, but she was mad that ESPN has increased her Google searches probably quite a bit today.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I mean, especially if she's still working.
Well, I
don't know that she is.
I read
I'm
somewhere
not sure.
where she is a former performer.
A former performer.
Yes.
A mattress actress.
Didn't that go out with the 80s?
I don't know, dude. Maybe the last time I watched porn. I don't know.
Joe Rangel stopped learning slang in the 80s.
A mattress actress?
A mattress actress.
Good Lord.
It's appropriate.
What's that song that the Dixie Chicks used to have?
Pillow biter?
That's not the one I was thinking
pillow
of.
biter.
But yeah, there was some term in there kind of like that. That song about shooting Earl.
Oh, yeah.
Although I guess they're just now the Chicks.
They're the Chicks now. You can't call them Dixie Chicks anymore.
No.
You know, all the good stuff. Dixie Chicks, Redskins, all that stuff goes out of the... And what was it, Lady Antebellum? You can't say that anymore. What are they now? Lady A?
Lady A.
My goodness.
A mattress actress?
A mattress actress.
We went from Indy calling himself an Uncle Tom to this.
That's what we do on a Tuesday on the Blitz here.
Why not?
Why not? Why not? A lot of coaching searches going on in the NFL, and I don't think any of them are mattress actresses.
Wow.
They're trying to get jobs, but you never know.
Good Lord.
Who people are dating and what they want to do. You just don't. We'll get into that. The next couple of jobs, Graziano was on ESPN a few minutes ago while I was cooling off. And He says the Raiders and Cleveland will be next to announce their head coaches. So that's what he says. We'll talk about it when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You mentioned the Rue Pub was a blast last night. It certainly was. Will be tonight as well because, well, you got the Spurs and Rockets playing tonight. And you know there's no better place to watch any big game, any big event than the Rue Pub. 281 Redland Road. They've got those 3 massive 170-inch screens, TVs all over the place. And you know the food there is fantastic. The biggest and best wings in town, about 15 different burgers on the menu. I love the fried shrimp there. I had a hot dog there for lunch yesterday. They're fantastic. The appetizers, the onion rings are incredible. Pledge tells me the salads there are wonderful. Even saw the Wookiee at the Rue Pub yesterday eating a salad. I don't even know you anymore, man. And that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late-night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Rue Pub there at 281 in Redland Road. And keep in mind, it's Tuesday tonight, tomorrow night, steak night at the Rue. Every Wednesday, $19.95, you get a 12-ounce ribeye, potato salad, and it is a great steak. Can't beat that deal. All those places trying to do steak night, copying the Rue, they can't do it as well as the Rue. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night. The best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant, the Rue Pub. 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Rue.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7 so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Eczema flaring up again. We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
As America's #1 motorcycle insurer, Progressive has your back.
Oh, like if I need a replacement part?
Sure, we can help with that.
Ah, nice. Hey, I just entered this online contest for coolest bike in the world. You think maybe you could vote for me?
Actually, we just do insurance, not popularity contests.
Yeah, I know. But what's your email? I'll just send you the link real quick. You can vote like 100 times a day. They'll never know.
To be clear, Progressive has your back for insurance only. So get a quote and see if you can save.
So what I'm hearing is there's a little bit of wiggle room.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, covered subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a hump day on the Morning Huddle, back-to-back for San Antonio for the Spurs. How do they look after 2 coming out of Houston?
And the coaching carousel continues to turn. So many places still open. We'll talk coaching, we'll talk NBA, and oh, by the way, we got a Super Bowl just around the corner. Lots to talk about. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Still a lot of comments on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page about the Houston Texans. In fact, one comment says the Texans would have won with Teddy Bridgewater or Grandpa Rivers. Just anybody that can manage the game. Maybe so. Maybe so. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe. He's Jason. And I think he's right.
They could have won with Davis Mills.
They could have.
In the game, not on the bench. The idea that CJ was just so bad in the postseason. and getting almost Dak Prescott treatment is pretty incredible. What do you do if you're a Texan fan? I mean, I know you love the guy. A lot of 7 jerseys, expectation after that incredible rookie year. What if that was the best that you're going to get from that guy? Do you blame the OC? Do you blame the line? Do you blame the lack of running game? Do you blame, are you blaming everybody but CJ? Or is it a combination and maybe CJ, when it's all said and done, isn't the guy?
Look, I'm not ready to go that far. I think obviously the guy's got the talent. I mean, he's a good dude. But some of the decisions he was making, and I think that's what troubles me more than anything else, is just his decision-making process when he panics. I mean, that one interception that was returned for a touchdown by New England, I don't think an 8th grader would have thrown a pass like that. Just throwing it up for grabs in a playoff game, and it cost him 7 points. And some of the passes that he threw were just so far off target. It was just awful. And so to me, it's more about the decisions that he made in the heat of the moment and when the game was on the line. And I think that is more troubling to me. He's got the talent. He's got the physical talent, but between the ears is what's got to concern you a little bit.
Are you in some ways hoping, oh man, he had surgery on his shoulder or his elbow, or like we find out this guy's been battling through some pretty serious injuries, and you go, all right, man, now that I know that explains what we saw. And I think, Baker Mayfield, for example. Now, Baker Mayfield, because of the contract that he signed, expectations aren't the same when you look at a CJ Stroud who was playing, and if he would have played well this postseason, he might have broke Dak Prescott $60 million per year. If he would have played well, if he would have had, 4 touchdowns and 1 interception instead of 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions, and they go to the AFC Championship game to face Jarrett Stidham, so then they get to the Super Bowl. He would be getting the most money ever for a quarterback when he signed his deal.
Yes.
Now you're wondering, do we even pick up the 5th-year option? Which they do. They will. But if I'm Nick Caserio, I am planning to bring in another quarterback. I've got a plan for a life without CJ Stroud as the starting quarterback. When we talked to ND Kalu earlier, he said, go bring in somebody that would be legit competition. Hey, whoever wins the starting job is going to win the starting job. Because right now you're not even giving CJ Stroud a promise ring, let alone marrying him to a contract worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
No, there's no way that you could do that right now with the way he played in the playoffs. And getting and I don't know why people go here. And I guess just making sure that somebody else is just as bad or worse than your guy makes them feel better. On our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, did someone refresh my memory? How many playoff wins does Justin Herbert have? And so I responded, I said 0. So what's your point? I mean, it has nothing to do. CJ Stroud, we're talking about the future of the Houston Texans, and I'm curious, if you're saying that, are you wanting CJ Stroud to get that contract and remain the future of the Houston Texans? I really am curious.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. We see this all the time at the National Football League level. If you think you have your quarterback, and when it's time for them to get a new deal, they're going to get top-of-the-market money. That's just the way it goes. Tua, $53 million. Justin Herbert's $52.5. Trevor Lawrence, $55. All of those guys, and you start looking at playoff success. Keep in mind, Trevor had a good year this year. Probably should have beat Buffalo. And, man, if the Jaguars would have beaten the Bills, I do think they would be playing in the AFC Championship game, and I thought that squad could have gone there. But he signed that deal before he had any playoff success.
Absolutely.
And that's when an organization makes a decision, do we think we have our guy? And if you don't have your guy, then you move on. If you think you have your guy, then you sign him. Miami signed Tua. Justin Herbert has signed. Let's throw Lamar Jackson in there. And you think about playoff success. Hell, Kyler Murray got a whole lot of money. If you think he's the guy, then you pay him. If you don't think he's the guy, then you've got to figure out who is next. This year, this offseason, the Houston Texans need to make that decision. Even if it's competition, Dak Prescott, did he deserve his money? Hell no. But you knew he was going to get that money because the Cowboys did nothing to prepare for life after Dak Prescott. Cooper Rush was never a threat to replace Dak as the starter.
And Davis Mills is not a threat to replace CJ Stroud. I don't think, although he's played pretty well when he's gotten the opportunity.
And again, he's kind of like Cooper Rush in Dallas. He's a game-ready backup quarterback. He's good for a couple games. Is he good for 17? Can he lead you to it? No. And so if the Cowboys, and that's when you all knew, and I tried to tell you all those, Cowboys, Jerry Jones does not want to go back to life between Troy Aikman and Tony Romo. He doesn't.
Really? Why not? It was sure fun.
For who? Clint Sterner getting a start? So when you think about it, if you think you have that guy, then you know you're going to sign him. Otherwise, you need to start bringing some guys in that could be that guy, whether they end up working out or not. And the other part for Houston, that defense this year was incredible. The moment they drafted it, and James Pledger was at that draft in Kansas City, they got CJ Stroud, turned around, made a move, and they took Will Anderson. And we said then,
wow,
man, you better win a Super Bowl on their rookie deal because both those guys are likely to break the bank. Can you have both of those guys at the top end of the salary market for their positions? And field a team around him.
Well, Will Anderson's going to get paid this offseason. I don't think they're going to mess around with that. He's going to get paid. CJ, I don't think he will.
No.
I think he's got to prove it. But I'm with you. I think you bring somebody in, and ND Kalu mentioned this too when he joined us earlier here on the show, just someone to make CJ a little uncomfortable, somebody that could step in and take his job and provide a little competition for CJ and make him uncomfortable and see where it goes from there. I don't think that's a bad thing to do at all. And if CJ's not your guy, maybe whoever you're bringing in is and can at least get you to the next point because, look, that defense I think is going to be really good again next year. That offense has to improve. It just has to improve.
And they just need average quarterback play. I mean, think about what we said this year about the Cowboys, right? As explosive as that Cowboys offense was, they just needed average defensive play. If the Cowboys defense would have been ranked somewhere in the teens, who knows, right? Now, granted, regular season, we know Dak in the playoffs, so make all your jokes there, right? The Texans were the complete opposite.
Yeah.
If they were getting average offensive play, they'd be in the AFC Championship game against Jarrett Stidham, as it turns out, so you could be booking your reservations for San Francisco and the Super Bowl. And they didn't even get that average. It was just awful. And Indy brought up something that really I hadn't factored in. That defense was so good this year, and they were healthy. And you won't always have
good point.
A great, healthy defense.
Ask San Francisco.
Yep.
And Robert Saleh did a hell of a job piecing that thing together and do just to get to where they got. I mean, to go into Philadelphia and win that game, and then I just think they were just worn out, or maybe Seattle's that good. Maybe it's a combination of both. But the Niners finally ran into a buzzsaw, and you couldn't do anything for it. Now Robert Saleh is the head coach of the Tennessee Titans.
There you go. You got to be thrilled with that.
Allegedly.
Well,
not official yet.
Yeah, not official yet, but Schefter is reporting it. Along with Schefter is reporting that the Packets have released Trayvon Diggs. Then he deleted the tweet and corrected his spelling for Packers. But Packets was screenshot by a bunch, and then the internet's undefeated. All the Green Bay mustard packets that are floating around the internet right now are kind of comical.
Well, absolutely. But that happens when you're in a hurry. You know?
Yeah.
It happens. You make mistakes.
Yeah.
So that's the way that it goes. Not sure. It's going to be interesting to see what the Texans are going to do and how they're going to do it. D'Amico Ryans, and a lot of people have pointed this out on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, is a CJ Stroud guy. He's a ride or die guy with CJ, and I think he's going to give him every opportunity to prove himself.
You know, publicly.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and you wonder behind closed doors. What we don't know, and I believe Nick Caserio has final say on this.
Sure.
Nick Caserio seems like he would be one that could make that tough decision, have that tough conversation. And again, I don't know that I the way CJ has played, especially 2 postseason games, one of the reasons I was so confident that they could go into New England and get the win is there was no way in hell he was going to play back-to-back games that piss poor. And he did. In fact, he was worse against New England than he was against Pittsburgh. I thought there would be no way he would play that bad. You have a performance like that, and you bounce back. You do things to get better. Instead, he got worse from one week to the next.
Yeah, it's disappointing. We talked about it all week, though. If he played like that, like he played against Pittsburgh, they were going to get beat, and they ended up getting beat. And so I hate to say that, too, about C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do.
Like the guy.
He's a great guy, but,
great,
I mean,
and had a great rookie year.
You got to perform, and he's just not doing. Hell, Bryce Young is arguably playing better than C.J. Stroud at the moment. Well, not arguably. He is.
He is.
Even though,
I mean, rookie year, the joke was, C.J. Stroud was the best NFL quarterback in Texas. And that was probably true his rookie year. It isn't now.
No.
I mean, for all the crap that Dak Prescott takes, he's really, really good. And it looked like CJ was just on a trajectory to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And right now, I don't even know if he's top 15.
No. Not the way he performed in the playoffs. No, not at all. All right, this is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We're happy to have you along. We do have some tickets we're going to be giving away here pretty quick to go see Parker McCullum inside the Frost Bank Center, January 31st. Don't go anywhere. We're going to give these away. And, of course, if you don't win tickets, you can always get them at livenation.com. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, it is a chilly day today, and it's supposed to get colder this weekend, maybe even a light freeze. You turn your heater on and you have any issues with it, you can call right away. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC. They'll get out there and they'll get you taken care of and warmed up because that's what they do. Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios, and if it's freezing and your heater's not working, that's worst case. Plumbing issues, you get a pipe break. In your world, at least, it's worst-case scenario. Whatever it is, they're full service, residential, commercial. So at the house, at the office, their service trucks are fully stocked. They have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. 210-651-5899 is the phone number, 651-5899, or you can go online at quartermoonplumbing.com. If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Shopping with your parents can be embarrassing.
Why would they sell jeans with holes in them? I'm going to speak to the manager.
Mom!
That hoodie is giving. You should get it. YOLO.
Thanks to the Chase mobile app, your kid can shop independently while you keep an eye on their spending. So you can go from...
We can be twinsies.
To...
How was shopping? Saw you stayed on budget.
Thanks, Mom. Freedom for kids, control for parents. That's family banking from Chase.
Account subject to approval. Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Straight Talk presents the math of more. Here's how it works. When you say yes to more with Straight Talk, you're left with more for all the other good stuff. So getting an unlimited plan starting at just $25 a month equals more savings for your family's weekend adventures. And with a network covered by Verizon, you can share more from wherever you go. It's simple math, really. More equals more with Straight Talk. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. The $25 plan requires a compatible unlocked device and a new line of service. Additional terms apply.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If your dog goes wild at the doorbell, it's time for a new game plan. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits is coaching up new pups and current MVPs with professional training sessions. Call them today at 210-750-1298. That's 210-750-1298. Call them today.
The sounds of one Parker McCullum. He's going to be inside the Frost Bank Center January 31st. And we got tickets to give away. Absolutely free. No fees, no scrambling at the last minute. You just got to listen right here to the Blitz every single day. And we're going to take care of you if you want to go see Parker McCullum. In fact, why don't we give some tickets away right now, Jason? You ready for that?
You know, Parker McCullum.
Uh-huh.
Good
you know
dude.
him. You listen to him quite a bit, don't you?
Actually, no. I was hanging out with him one time at a San Antonio Brahmas game.
Really?
And I had no idea who he was until they put the spotlight on him and introduced him. And I went, oh, so you're Parker McCullum. We were in that little end zone area with the bar, and I had no idea. I know he's I think Randy Rogers is producing him or on his label. I know some of his music, not all of it. Up-and-coming superstar. Huge Houston Texans fan.
Really?
Huge.
Huh.
So in the spirit of that, caller 7.
Okay.
For CJ Stroud. Just don't fumble the tickets when you're going through the door.
656-3776, 656-ESPN. You want to go see Parker McCullum. All you have to do is be caller number 7. Of course, if you don't win the tickets, we'll keep listening. We're going to give them away, but you can always go to livenation.com and get them there as well.
You know, we have so many comedians that listen to this show. I love it. The coaching carousel that's going on, Ryan Nagel has wanted Robert Saleh since, I don't know, almost from day one that Tennessee became open. And Fred on our YouTube said that according to Schefter, he's reporting that Robert Saleh is hiring Joe Reinagle as his hair coordinator.
Well, I can do a good job with his hair.
Well, that's easy.
Absolutely.
That's a hell of a job.
And, you know, depending on what it pays, let me know. I can negotiate a contract.
I mean, if you're a coordinator, it's got to be $1 million, right? At least?
Well, I mean, at least. At least. I could probably find a good wig for Robert if he wants to go that way.
Why would you work that hard, man? Just give him a towel and say, dry off.
Well,
You're
true. I mean, he probably got whiskers, though, on top of his head. He's got to shave that bean.
Well, you're the hair coordinator. You hire the
I
barber.
will.
You don't have to.
I'll be happy to take care of him.
Although, I mean, seeing how Wemby got balded up, I mean, it doesn't look like it'd be that hard.
Well, I wouldn't think so, especially Wemby, and he'd have to sit down. Did you see Manu Ginobili followed suit?
Huh?
Yeah. Bald.
Wasn't he already?
I don't know. But he's the OG bald guy, so.
The OG bald guy?
Well, I mean, he took his hat off at the game last night and revealed his bald head. And maybe he just got a fresh shave.
Yeah.
Could be.
Maybe.
He's just showing support for the guys.
Uh-huh.
I saw another one that they were a bunch of the workers there for the Spurs balded their heads.
They balded their heads.
They balded their heads. That's what Keldon Johnson calls it. Balded their heads. So we'll talk some Spurs here coming up in just a moment. But last night's game, the Indiana Hoosiers, dude, were incredible. And so were the Miami Hurricanes, for that matter.
Yep.
They were outstanding. It was a good football game, good championship game. The Miami had a chance to win there at the end. They were driving, and Carson Beck, well, he threw it to the wrong colored jersey.
27-21.
Yeah.
And
which covered the spread, by the way.
It did, unfortunately.
Fortunately, it covered the spread.
I had Indiana.
I know.
And the points.
It's all right, Minix. One day you'll learn to listen to me because I said it was going to be a good game, and that was too many points. You'll listen to me one day.
I mean, I know what you said about the Pittsburgh Texans game, too.
Dude,
it happens.
I mean, even the best lose every now and then.
Uh-huh.
Goodness gracious.
Uh-huh.
It happens.
I mean, you're really good on slot machines. I'll give you that. But outside of that, we'll go from there.
Uh-huh.
What a game, though. And I'm glad that we got the game that we did. I was afraid that Indiana was going to end up blowing out Miami. Georgia, TCU, I mean, so many of these championship games end up being blowouts in college football.
They do.
And all the storylines, everything were the direction of Indiana. I mean, for as long as they've been playing football, they had as many top 10 wins this year than they had in the history of their program. I mean, it's just incredible what Indiana University did this year when it comes to football.
Without a doubt, and they were just so good at taking care of the football, at being disciplined. Kurt Cignetti did a hell of a job with that team, but even further than that, the average age of their players was 23 years old. That's the kind of guys that he's recruiting, and he even said after the game, he said that he doesn't think a lot of his guys will go to the NFL. It was just a special group of guys that gelled and came together and played very well.
And the title, everything for Indiana.
I know Indiana's football history has been pretty poor with some good years sprinkled in there. And, it was because, there wasn't an emphasis on football, plain simple. Basketball school. Coach Knight had great teams. The emphasis is on football. It's on basketball, too. But, you got to be good in football nowadays. We got a president that comes from the South that loves football. We've got an AD that is a tremendous fundraiser, people person. And we've got a fan base the largest fan alumni base in the country, Indiana University.
Wow.
Really?
And they're all in, and we got a lot of momentum.
I didn't know that.
We
could fact check the guy, but I'm assuming he knows what he's talking about.
I'm going to go sideways here on this. Let's take a left turn.
All right.
Think about what the man just said.
Mm-hmm.
And Pledge, I want you to pull up just the little snippet. They got a president from the South that loves football. They have an athletic director that is a great fundraiser.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm not saying that UTSA football will get to the point where they can go play for a national championship. But damn it, I thought this team was on the trajectory to get into the playoffs, to get that group of 5 playoff spot. And when I hear Jeff Traylor over and over and over trying to go out and get more money, and you look at the portal and what they lost this year, and this was the first year that, man, did they lose a lot. You know, Jeff has done a great job of retaining a lot of players. You know, it was at one point, Zachary Franklin and then Trey Moore, and it was a couple of guys. This year, it feels like they lost a ton. Now, granted, Coach Traylor did a good job of replenishing in the portal. But how often have we said Jeff Traylor is the biggest and best fundraiser for the program?
Oh, without a doubt.
It should be the athletic director.
It should be.
Now, I don't know how good of a fundraiser Lisa Campos is, but kind of feels like between Jeff Traylor and April Ansira and Martin Salinas, they're the ones that are constantly out raising that money. And the support from the president, Dr. Amy, who's not from the South, and I don't know if he gives a damn about football or not. There are times I hear him say that, but then, he's just built this medical school. That's going to be his legacy, right? So Indiana, and granted, they have a guy like Mark Cuban that can write a big check, but it starts with having that support from the top. And now I know because Tom Pernetti, the commissioner, told us, when they came up with that rev share that, $10 million over 3 years, Taylor Amy is the one that called for that vote. So I feel like there's times where Taylor Amy does the right thing, but is he completely all in helping Jeff Traylor raise the money? This wasn't going to be a segment on UTSA football, but when I hear that from Curt Cignetti, my thoughts are, well, yeah, if you've got that kind of support, man, things can get done.
How cool would it be, even if they got their asses kicked, to have UTSA in that playoff field? It would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Just the build up to that, and then you got to play the games, and then who knows? But I'm just saying it would be outstanding to do that. The American Conference is, to me, the best conference that's not a power conference.
Yep.
And the competition in said American Conference is really good. And if you're going to keep up and be able to compete in that conference, you're going to have to figure out a way to spend some money. Now, look, to defense of Lisa Campos, I don't know how good of a fundraiser she is, but I'm quite certain that when she took the job at UTSA, fundraiser probably wasn't a part of it. Well, I don't know that.
Not to the level that it needs to be now, because when she got here, when Jeff Traylor got here, where they were in the college football landscape, UTSA football, and what they've grown to, and they took some giant steps in a hurry. They might have grown too fast because they had to strike while the iron was hot. Now, not lost on me with everything that Cignetti said, and Pledge looked it up. Indiana University has the nation's largest living alumni base with over 805,000 graduates worldwide. So I don't know how many of them are writing checks. I imagine more now than before, but, this rev share thing and NIL has been going on for a while. The last coach couldn't get that money raised. Why is he able to get it done? It wasn't all Mark Cuban, because Mark Cuban wrote a check last year, and he said, I dabbled in it. This year, we really made him smile, or however Cuban phrased it. But it was the president from the South that understands football that wanted Indiana to be a football school.
Well,
And that's, I don't know that Jeff Traylor has that, either one of those.
I'm not sure he does either. But, again, with 805,000 graduates worldwide, that's a pretty good pot to pick from. And UTSA, I don't know how many alumni they have out there.
Well,
and the football program is young. And I'm not making excuses for anybody. They need to step up their game. They absolutely do. But, again, you're talking about a football team that's in its infancy still. It's 15 years old, and we're expecting, millions of dollars to be raised from who? And that's the problem. Who are you getting that money from? And I don't know. And I love what April Ancira is doing. She's doing a hell of a job raising money for that. But it's got to be a difficult challenge in a lot of ways because I just don't know where that money's coming from. I really don't. And you say go raise money, but who are you going to?
Well, where'd you get this pledge, this number? Pledge just put on our screen. UTSA has over 98,000 living alumni in the San Antonio area alone. Well over 100,000 total graduates. Now, and again, the living part, I guess, is important. The one thing with
hard to write a check when you're dead.
Well, I mean, unless the trust is going to send you money.
Yeah.
But it's also UTSA's got a young alumni base.
Yes.
People that are still building wealth, where when you look at people in their late 70s, 80s, they know they're about to die, and they start making those big donations. UTSA's wealthy alumni are still building that wealth. But you still have to have somebody that can go out and help raise that money, the charismatic part, the people part. All of that is just so important. And then, of course, the support from the president. Because I see Taylor Amy raising all kinds of money for that medical school. And I'm looking at that going, and they can't peel off $10 million for Jeff? I mean, look up what he was able to raise for that other school. So it can be done when you're trying.
Interesting. I don't know how much the school was. I don't know. But Cignetti said it. And look, it's absolutely true. I don't care if you like football or not. If you're going to be in the football business, that is the front porch to your university. I don't give a damn how good your basketball team is, your baseball team is, your volleyball team is. Doesn't matter. What's the biggest advertiser for your university is that football program. It is. Whether you like it or not, it is absolutely true, and that's who you need to support. All the programs need support, yes, but that football program has to be the priority. It absolutely has to be the priority. And any money raised, the majority of it's got to go to that program because it is the most expensive program to operate. So and all of that is true. I just don't know. And if Amy went out and got a bunch of money for a medical school, props to him. Go out and work that hard for your football team and get them some money as well.
I agree. And I think about just simple things. That bowl win was nice. Over 3 million people watched. It was one of the top watched bowl games for Group of Five. And it was a blowout win for UTSA, yet people still watched. As a season ticket holder, I didn't get emails saying, hey, you know, bowls are fun, but championships are better. Donate here. Like, there's things you can do to try to go raise that money. I don't know. Just hearing that, you know, I get it. And I'm happy for Cignetti because they're there. I'm blown away at that Indiana alumni because I know I was traveling this weekend. I was in Phoenix. The number of Indiana shirts I saw in the airport and those running in the Phoenix half marathon, I'm not used to seeing, for an alumni base like that, I'm not used to seeing Indiana gear everywhere. So are the graduates just now, all right, cool, we won. Let's wear our gear. Because normally we don't because, well, we're Indiana.
Well, and to your point, what fires up an alumni base more?
Winning.
If UTSA wins, that fundraising is going to become that much easier.
Yep.
It just is. Indiana's got no issue. And I know take Mark Cuban out of it. But Indiana now has got no issue. People are lining up to write checks for that football program because of what they did this year. Winning matters, and if you win, that fundraising dilemma becomes that much more easy task to do. So keep that in mind. We shall see. I tell you. Charean Williams is going to join us about 5:15 or so. We'll talk about the Cowboys defensive coordinator search and everything going around the NFL. That's the beauty of Charean Williams. She's got it locked in on all of that stuff. Looking forward to talking to her. Again, Spurs in action tonight in Houston. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. We'll do all of that when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Let me tell you about my good friends, though, at Stevens Roofing. Love talking about Stevens Roofing. Family-owned company, local company, and they're the absolute best in the business. I know that because they've been in business since 1983. I shouldn't have to tell you what that means. Nobody stays in business that long if you're not doing it right and you're not taking care of your customers. Stevens Roofing does that, and they do it better than anybody else. And now they've added solar to what they do. If you've been thinking about solar panels on your house, and I know a lot of people these days are thinking about solar panels for a variety of reasons, Stevens Roofing and Solar can take care of you there as well. And you know, if they've been in business that long in the roofing business, they're going to do it right in the solar business as well. Give them a call, 210-785-0994. If you think you got a problem with your roof, you want to get that taken care of, or you just want to get it looked at to make sure that everything's okay, Stevens Roofing and Solar will do that. You give them a call at 210-785-0994. They'll send a crew out to your house. They'll inspect your roof for free, and they'll let you know what is going on up there and if anything needs some attention. If you need some work done like this, you want to call the best. That is Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994, or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers, this is KTFM Floresville.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Uncover the root of your problems and improve the quality of your life. I'm Dr. Torres from the Institute for Functional Health. For more than a decade, we have helped people restore energy, vitality, libido, and drive. Most patients come to us because they feel unheard or stuck. Schedule your discovery day. We'll talk about your history, run advanced testing, and build a personalized plan that fits your life. We have helped thousands of people just like you. Call 210-468-1891. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. 210-468-1891.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as... That's 888-665-0696.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Italian subs for your finance team at Chicago. Easy Cater. Burritos for your call center crew in Plano. Easy Cater. Bagels for your sales reps meeting clients in Charlotte. Easy Cater. Hot chicken sandwiches for your third shift warehouse workers in Memphis. Easy Cater. Your teams may be spread out across the country, but you've got one platform to feed them all, whenever and wherever they work, with food they love from favorite restaurants. Easy Cater. Food for the workplace, all in one place. Order now at easycater.com.
Eczema flaring up again. We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs beat the Jazz yesterday, 123-110. Victor Wembanyama was sensational after being named an all-star starter for the first time in his career. He went off to the tune of 33 points. He'll have to do that again tonight in Houston. Spurs taking on the Rockets. Tip-off from Houston set for 7 o'clock. Cowboys interviewed former Arizona Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon for the defensive coordinator job last night. They've got more interviews on the way.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
On a Tuesday, happy to have you along. And I know if you're happy, your Tuesday's over. If you get off work at 5 o'clock, you are off. It is on to hump day for you, for all intents and purposes. Thanks for stopping by here, though. We do appreciate it. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He is Jason Minix. And good day after a good weekend of football, although it's coming to a close, which kind of bums me out.
Well, I mean,
I know I should just enjoy it.
We got 3 games left.
I know.
And one game, I'm not sure how excited I am because Jarrett Stidham is going to be the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos.
Look, as much as that sucks for Denver, they're still a pretty good football team defensively, and I wouldn't just write that off as an easy win for New England. Just yet. You got to go to Denver, altitude issues, all of that kind of stuff, and they're going to have to be ready to play or they'll get popped in the mouth.
Dude, the 1 seed against the 2 seed.
And I damn sure don't want to see Denver going to the Super Bowl with Jarrett Stidham. I mean, do you? Take it on either the Rams or the Seahawks? Goodness gracious.
I mean, no. Seahawks, Rams. Man, I can't wait for that game.
That should be a good one, yeah.
That game is man, I can't wait for that game. But when you look at in right now, I mean, Patriots, Seahawks, Patriots, Rams in the Super Bowl. I think either one of those matchups would be great. With Jarrett Stidham as your starting quarterback, hard to get excited about the Broncos in the Super Bowl, knowing they're going to be handcuffed offensively. I know Sean Payton is the quarterback guru and what he could do, and at that point, I'd be rooting for Sam Ehlinger to somehow get into the game, or even a Ben DiNucci, because why not? But
Stidham comes with some juice. I mean, obviously your quarterback whisperer there is very high on him. He went out and got him, wanted him on this team as the backup quarterback to Bo Nix.
Yep.
So he must see something in him.
Sure.
And look, all Jarrett Stidham needs to do is just not make mistakes. That defense is good enough, I think, to certainly add to a win for the Denver Broncos. I'm not writing that thing off just yet. I'm not, and I am going to be rooting my butt off for the Patriots because I don't want to see Jarrett Stidham and the Broncos in the Super Bowl.
You don't want to see Sean Payton in the Super Bowl.
And that donkey, yes. I don't. The Patriots are a 4.5-point favorite right now in Denver, and the Seahawks are a 2.5-point favorite over the Rams.
You know, the Rams beat the Seahawks 21-19 and then lost to the Seahawks 38-37 in their 2 regular season meetings. What Matthew Stafford has been able to do to that great Seahawk defense in their 2 meetings, 1-1. The loss was at Seattle for the Rams. So the home team has won. But Seattle looks like they're playing at a different level right now. I mean, it's to me, that's, I mean, what a game. What a game that's going to be on Sunday night.
Well, it should be a good game, and I hope that it is. They're certainly the best 2 teams in the NFC, and they should be playing. They're both playing the best. I trust Matthew Stafford a little more than I trust Sam Darnold when it comes to quarterbacks, obviously, so I think the Rams have an advantage there. But obviously Seattle's defense is better than the Rams. The Rams' defense hasn't showed up in the playoffs yet. They have not. And if you're a Seattle fan, you got to worry a little bit. The Rams have not played their best football yet. Will that happen on Sunday? I still like the Rams to get to the Super Bowl despite what Seattle's doing. I know you have to root for Seattle because, well, your wife will kick your butt if you don't. No, she will. She will. Yeah. So you have to root for Seattle.
I want to root.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Yeah, of course.
Yes, dear. No, but you talk about the Rams' defense. I mean, hell, they held Chicago to 17 points in none-degree weather, and 7 of those came on a crazy play at the end.
That's very true.
I mean, I think the Rams' defense, although, can you really take much away from a none-degree weather game?
That's a good question.
In those miserable conditions?
Well, it's not going to be any better in Seattle, is it?
I mean, it's not going to be Chicago cold.
Well, it won't be that cold, but it's going to be wet, most likely.
I mean, it is Seattle.
Yes.
It's going to be loud. It's the late game, so it's going to be cold and dark and, maybe a little bit rainy. But was the God, it was so long ago, and I'm already forgetting. The Carolina Rams game was in kind of crappy weather, too, wasn't it? The Rams Rams haven't had a good weather game, I don't think.
I don't recall that, but I'll take your word for it. I don't remember.
I'm just
but
trying
that was
to remember.
An offensive juggernaut. Both teams putting up a lot of points on the board there. So I don't know. It's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to that. Al, I'm looking forward to the New England game, too. I want to see that. But I would like to see Drake May meet up with Matthew Stafford. I think Stafford's going to be the MVP. Drake May is going to be second. It'd be kind of nice to see that quarterback matchup in the Super Bowl.
That would be. But you don't want to see Sam Darnold against Jarrett Stidham?
No, I don't. I don't want to see anybody that I just mentioned. Well, I'm going to see Drake May against him, but I don't want to see Stafford or Darnold against him.
Low-key, and not just because of the Seattle angle and my wife. I'm rooting for Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold, for his story, what drafted to the Jets, everything that he's been through. Last year, great regular season. They moved on from him, collapsed down the stretch. This year he hasn't. Let Sam Darnold go to the Super Bowl and win one. I think that'd be an incredible story.
It would be an incredible story, absolutely. And I think I'd be happy for Sam Darnold to kind of get that off of his back, that he can't win the big game. That's always been the knock on him. By the way, Tom Pelissero is reporting right now that former Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel has withdrawn his name from the Cleveland Browns head coaching search.
Well, because it's cold outside there.
Well, probably, but he is still a candidate for the Ravens job, according to Pelissero, and he's interviewing for the Chargers offensive coordinator job, and he's got other offensive coordinator job offers or interviews scheduled, and I hope one of those is Tennessee.
Yeah. And obviously he and Saleh were on the staff together in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So I could certainly see that. Think about that. He would rather be a coordinator somewhere else than a head coach in Cleveland.
Wouldn't you?
Mike Riley, when he was the coach of the Commanders here, told me the best thing about being a head coach is you get to make the schedule.
Right.
And, he likes to kind of go early because he wants to drink beer at 5 o'clock. You get some head coaches that want you to work all day or late. And the salary difference between a coordinator and a head coach.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
But Mike McDaniel, he's got all that Miami money. And it's like, and he always looks so miserable in cold weather games.
He does.
If you're going in January to go interview in Cleveland, you're driving and going, this sucks. There's no way in hell I'm doing this.
Well, and that's why he withdrew. He was supposed to have an in-person interview with the Browns tomorrow and has pulled his name from consideration, which means to me that I think he's got an offer.
Yeah.
Somewhere to do something, whether it's offensive coordinator or a head coaching position. And my gut tells me it's an OC position somewhere. So we'll have to wait and see. And a lot of that's taken place in Well, Charean Williams knows a lot about that.
Well, and who's going to end up being the Cowboys Defensive Coordinator?
That's a good question. They've interviewed a lot of people, but have not pulled the trigger on any of those guys just yet. So let's talk to Mother Football. Charean Williams will join us next here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a business owner, a manager, club leader, you need your logo on gear, get into Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro, especially if you need your logo on winter gear. It's going to be cold this weekend. Cool. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing is the only company in Texas that offers one-day turnaround. So if you need that logo on some jackets, some coats, half-zips, hoodies, you name it, scarves, beanies, Sam will get you taken care of. He's got that full winter line on display right now in that massive showroom down on San Pedro. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from, all kinds of industries, medical, restaurant, construction, schools, leagues. And those uniforms include the cold weather gear that you're going to need this weekend, and rodeos coming up. Sam's got all the hats you need. 25,000 caps are on display in this showroom. More than 75 color combinations just waiting for your logo. All the popular cap brands, all the popular other brands as well, including now Tommy Bahama. Nobody has better prices. No order too big, no order too small. Call Sammy's Embroidery and Printing, 210-824-3900, or go by that massive showroom on San Pedro, 1 mile inside Loop 410, right there across from the McDonald's. Or go to the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
Hello, this is Jason Thompson, and as you know, I've been practicing law here in San Antonio for more than 30 years, helping people and families injured in traffic collisions. So I'm often asked, what is the worst thing you can do after a traffic collision? And the answer is easy. That's trying to handle it on your own without an attorney. Insurance companies have spent billions perfecting their strategy of paying nothing or as little as they can get away with. It wouldn't be David versus Goliath. It would be David versus a million Goliaths. You have no chance. Using AI for help is even worse because AI routinely gives dangerously inaccurate legal advice. It is laughably bad on the law. So bad that a lawyer filing a document drafted by AI will likely be disbarred in Texas. Keep it simple. Just call me. My name is Jason Thompson. I'll give you a free review of your case with no obligation to hire me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400, or my website, alawyerforus.com. That's alawyerforus.com.
The football playoffs are here, and you know Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Jason Minix here from The Blitz. Look, as a Cowboy fan, I've got to find these games more exciting and entertaining, and I can do that with Underdog. Make your picks and win money right now in Texas, and it's easy. You take your favorite player stats and decide higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, rushing yards, that sort of thing. Get your picks right, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. So what are you waiting for? Download the Underdog app today. Use promo code STAR to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code STAR at Underdog. Make picks, win money. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This new year, get started on your next success with University of Maryland Global Campus. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start February 11th. An accredited state university, UMGC offers online and hybrid classes while giving you a head start on 2026. Earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
It's Pork Rind Appreciation Day at PorkRinds.com. Hall of Famer Devin Hester and PorkRinds.com are lining up to be the heroes for the Gridiron Greats Assistance Fund. Pork rinds are the MVP of the snack aisle. Low-carb, gluten-free, and packed with protein. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Visit PorkRinds.com to enter for a chance to win a 2027 Big Game Travel Package and a year's supply of rinds. Support a great cause and find your favorite rinds at PorkRinds.com. Pork Rind Appreciation Day, the crunchiest day in football.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like rugs. And people say a rug would really bring the room together. And sure, you don't know what that means, but it sounds important. Suddenly you're using words like jute and sisal. Then you see the price and lose it, because how can the thing you walk and spill on cost so much? So you devote your life to taking down Big Rug. But then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds. So, looks like Big Rug is safe. For now. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
The Cowboys' search for a defensive coordinator continues. Plenty of interviews have been had. More are scheduled. What are they going to do? This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. He's Jason Minnick.
Let's ask Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk, who joins us now on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Charean, it's odd that the Cowboys are doing this search like a normal football team, casting a wide net, interviewing a bunch of names that we're not familiar with. The young up-and-comers, not the retreads, yet they still haven't made a decision. From what you're hearing, who do you think the front runners are?
I don't know if they have one yet. They haven't finished with the second interview, so I don't know that they have a front runner at the moment, but they certainly have some good names. I do like the wide net that they've cast. They've talked to a lot of young guys. I like that, and it looks like it's going to be a younger guy who gets this job, and based on what we've seen with the past few defensive coordinators they've hired, I'm not so sure that's not a good thing. I think it is a good thing. Too many negatives in there for you to know what I meant. But I think it's a really good thing that they've talked to some younger guys, and they're probably going to hire a younger guy than what they've had. But I like some of the names we're hearing, and I think a lot of them have impressed them that they've talked to. And, we're starting to see with, some of these other teams that are now looking for a defensive coordinator, you're starting to see some of the same names get interviewed. So I think they are to a point where they need to start narrowing this thing down and make a decision over the next few days.
I absolutely agree with you, Charean. And with all the competition out there, it could come down to Jerry maybe having to write a little bit bigger check than he'd normally want to do. I guess for the right guy, do you see Jerry doing that?
No. No, I don't. And and that's a problem. And that's, maybe that's why they're looking at some of these younger guys that they think they can get for, a little less cost. I don't know. And somebody will do it for what he wants to pay him, but I don't think he's going to open the checkbook and sign a huge check. I don't think he's going to be competing against anybody, for a coordinator. I think there are enough guys on his list that he'll move on to the next one if it's not the one he wants. And frankly, if you're a passing game coordinator or a defensive backs coach, or a lot of them are passing game coordinators, passing game specialists, if you're one of those guys and you've waited for a chance to be a defensive coordinator, you're probably not going to turn down the job unless you have another opportunity elsewhere. So I don't know that he's going to have to open the checkbook, but I don't see him doing that. That's just not his MO. That's not the way he operates. He doesn't pay a ton of money to these guys, and he likes the shorter-term contracts. Now, the problem to me is less about the money and more about the length of the contract, because he's going to want a shorter contract because who knows what's going to happen with Schottenheimer. How long is he going to be the head coach in Dallas? And we know Jerry doesn't like paying off these coaches. So how long is that contract going to be? And I do think that could be a problem, because he's probably going to want something in the 2 to 3 year range. And all these guys are going to want more security than that. They're going to want in the 4 to 5 year range. Probably not going to get the 5, especially if it's passing game specialist. But the 4 is, I think, where most of them are going to land. So to me, that's probably a bigger deal than the amount of money that he's going to pay.
Charean Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio sports star. Two-part question as you say that, because, 4 defensive coordinators in 4 years, so this will be the 4th in 4 years. So it's a job that hasn't been stable, although it doesn't take a brain surgeon to look and see why. So I don't know that you've got an owner that's quick to pull the trigger. I mean, Dan Quinn left to be a head coach. Zimmer was a disaster, and so was Eberflus. I know Zimmer was on a 1-year deal. Do we know how long Eberflus's contract was that Jerry is now having to pay off, knowing that's something that he doesn't like to do? But do you think people will look at this job as an unstable environment and demand more security in their contract?
Yeah, I certainly think that. I don't know how long it was. I do know it was multi-year, so it's more than 1 year, and he did have to pay that off. And I think that's why you asked for a multi-year deal, and by multi-year, I'm talking more than 2 years, which again is what I think Jerry would like to give, would be a 2-year deal. And I see nobody coming here for less than 3 years, and probably more like 4 years, because of what they've seen with the turnover at that position in Dallas, and just that, again, just that lack of security that the Cowboys have shown at that position. So it's going to be interesting who they end up with, how much they pay, which we may never know, and how long the contract is, which we eventually will know.
Charean, I've got to ask you a question. Former Dallas Cowboy Trayvon Diggs released by the Green Bay Packers today. What do you think about this guy's career moving forward? Is it possible that Trayvon may be done with the NFL, or somebody give him a chance?
Well, I think he's done, but I do think he gets another chance to go to camp with somebody. So it's kind of yes and yes to your question, because I think he's done. I think that knee injury that he's had, I just don't think he's the same guy. I don't know that he'll ever be the same guy. But again, just like the Packers picked him up off waivers, I think somebody rolls the dice and says, hey, maybe he has something left. It's not going to cost us very much. And I don't think they'll pay very much. I think he'll be on the market for a while, and then I think somebody says, low cost, high reward potential there, so we're going to roll the dice and sign him and see what happens. So I do think he gets another chance. Do I think he makes in the NFL and plays next season? I do not. If you watch the one play that he played in the postseason game, he got absolutely trucked on that play. Ended up getting credit for the tackle because the guy ran over him and fell to the ground, and he gets credit for a tackle for that. But he was absolutely awful. I think you saw when he was here playing that he just can't run anymore, and I don't know that that's going to improve with time.
At 27 years old, and obviously with the injuries for Trayvon Diggs, and you just said it, I mean, maybe he goes somewhere low cost. I don't know if he would – if Zico would allow him to do a deal like that. Like, how much did this guy love football and to take a prove-it kind of deal, or he thinks his value is at a certain level, and if he's not getting paid that, he'd rather be, hanging out in Miami?
I would not put that out of the realm of possibilities. I think that absolutely could happen. I think he could think so much of himself that he says, nah, I'm just going to wait till somebody gets an injury and then they're going to sign me to a bigger deal. I don't think that ever happens. So if he wants to play it that way, I think there's a great chance that his career is over, and he won't get that chance. I think it's going to have to be a prove-it deal, or he's not going to get that opportunity. And if he doesn't sign that, and he just says, no, I'll wait till somebody gets hurt, I don't think that phone's going to ring. I think his career is going to be over. So, but you very well may be right. I mean, I know him, and I know how he thinks, and I know, what he thinks and how much he thinks of himself, and you may be correct and on the right track of he's going to think, I'm worth more than that, I'm not playing for that, and just goes off into the sunset, and that very well could happen.
Well, it's too bad. It really is. I mean, once a very promising career for that guy. He got a big contract, so you can't feel too sorry for him, I guess. Charean, I want to ask you a question, just football related. Sean McDermott fired in Buffalo. Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I was. And I think he had a point of, when I watched that team play, I saw a team with a lack of talent. I mean, look at the receiver position. They had some injuries. There's no question about that. We know they had injuries. But nonetheless, even if they're fully healthy at that position, their receiving core was not very good. Their defense, again, had some injuries. Everybody has injuries. Their defense just wasn't good enough. And I just wonder where the talent was. And I love Brandon Beane. I've been out to dinner with Brandon Beane. Great guy, but where's the talent? And he got a promotion out of this, and Sean McDermott got fired. So I was surprised. I was very surprised. He needed more talent than what they gave him, and they didn't give him that. And it was a one-man show of Josh Allen having to play Superman to try to get the team to the Super Bowl. And in so doing, he had all those turnovers that cost them the game and cost them their best opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. But I just think it was a matter of talent. It wasn't a matter of coaching as much as it was just not having the right players to get the job done.
Talking about right players and getting the job done, CJ Stroud, awful in the postseason. Yeah. Nick Caley, head coach, wasn't committal, was non-committal on his future with the team, which is never a good sign. What are you hearing in your circles about, one, the future of the Texans offensive coordinator, and what do you think the Texans end up doing with CJ Stroud this offseason? Just pick up his option? There's no way they can sign him to a massive contract at this point after this year's playoff performance.
Well, I think with Caley, they wait a week like they did last year before making a decision. I think they'll wait it over this week. I'm going to be surprised if he doesn't come back, simply because we're just talking about the Cowboys' fourth defensive coordinator in 4 years. I think they're going to give him another year to say, hey, all right, prove it. You've figured out some things. Your first year calling plays, let's work on the deficiencies that we had in 2025. And I think that Tank Dell coming back will help that offense, and they'll get some more talent and should shore up that offensive line, or try to again. They've made multiple attempts at getting it fixed and still haven't gotten it fixed. So they'll do that again this offseason. So I'm not going to be surprised if they fire Nick Caley, but I do expect him to come back for at least one more year, and he'll be put on notice that this needs to be the year that this offense turns it around. And yeah, I think you have to pick up the fifth-year option on CJ Stroud's contract, which is $27 million, somewhere in there. It's less than $30 million. I think they will pick that up. That gives them an extra year. I don't think you will hear of any extension talks this offseason. He's eligible for one. You can't do it. Terrible in the postseason. 7 turnovers he accounted for. If he didn't make those turnovers on Sunday, I think we're talking about the Texans having a great chance to play in their first Super Bowl. But he turned the ball over, gave up a pick six, and here we are with, what's CJ Stroud's future. And they don't know what it is. I don't think anyone knows what it is at this point. You're giving him another year, but I do think that, whether it's Davis Mills or someone else, I think I'm going to have some insurance behind him. And I'm going to be quick with the trigger to pull him if need be next year if he's not getting done what he needs to get done. I mean, that's one of the worst postseason performances that we've ever seen, ever. I mean, you can go back and look at the turnovers that quarterbacks have had. There have been some bad ones, but that ranks right up there, probably in the top 5 of worst postseason performances by a quarterback. So he cost himself millions and millions of dollars. To his credit, he was accountable. He spoke Sunday a long time and took the blame, and he did it again on Monday, and kudos for that. But you just got to be better, and if you're not better, then you're going to be out of this league, or you're going to be a backup, relegated to a backup. And we've seen that many times with quarterbacks drafted that high who didn't pan out. So this is going to be a huge year for him in more than one way.
Charean, it's really weird because you look at the Houston Texans in a lot of ways the way you look at the Cowboys. Cowboys had the offense. They just had no defense. Texans, obviously, just the opposite. But their defense, historic in a lot of ways. A lot of people comparing them to the Ravens Super Bowl, the Bears back in the 80s. And it's unfortunate that you have this and you lose out on what could have been a very special year. I don't know. Does that make any difference, or does the administration in Houston just kind of wave that off and see what happens?
Well, I think you're committed to Stroud for another year. But again, I think you have somebody behind him, whether it's Davis Mills, who went 3-0, or somebody else. Davis played very well, didn't turn the ball over. He had 1 interception in 3 games he started.
Yep.
So, if he's going to be put on, to me, you put him on notice. I know he's our guy, but I think you put him on notice today. If you're struggling, like, we're going with somebody else. And you've got to perform and be better than what you were in these 2 games. He needs an off-season committed to getting better and figuring out why he's got all these turnovers. They're just coming in bunches. Just didn't protect the football. And the Seattle is where Houston should be right now. And I said that. I went on Seattle radio late last week. I said, look, if Sam Darnold doesn't turn the ball over, Seattle will win this game big. But he can't turn the ball over. Otherwise, all bets are off. But that Seahawks defense is every bit as good as that Houston defense. I think Houston's a little bit better if I'm going to compare them, but it's every bit as good. They're dominant. And if they get help from their quarterback not turning the ball over, they will win this game handily. They did. He didn't turn the ball over. They won handily. I think it's the same thing this week. If he doesn't turn the ball over, Seattle wins. I think in the Super Bowl, if Sam Darnold doesn't turn the ball over, Seattle wins. And maybe he's like Trent Dilfer with the Ravens defense. Maybe he's like Brad Johnson with the Bucs defense. Or maybe he's better than that. I don't know. But I do know that if he doesn't turn the ball over, I think they win. And it was the same thing with the Texans. If he had just protected the football, I think the Texans win that game.
Absolutely. And even with all the turnovers, it was 21-16 late in the third quarter. They still had a chance. Texans fans will be what-ifing themselves to death this offseason.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow Charean Williams on Twitter at NFL Charean. Read her at ProFootballTalk.com. Charean, next week when we talk, maybe we'll talk about the new defensive coordinator if Jerry's made a decision by then.
Thank you guys very much.
Appreciate it. The great Charean Williams on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com.
That's what I love about Charean. I mean, obviously she's plugged into the Cowboys, but she's plugged into everything.
Yep.
The entire NFL. So it's always good to get her thoughts on what's going on. And there's a lot going on in the NFL right now, that's for sure. A lot going on in the association, as the kids like to call it, the NBA, including your San Antonio Spurs in Houston tonight to take on the hated Rockets. Let's talk about it. We will when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, injuries do happen. When they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area, they have extended hours Monday through Saturday, on-site x-ray casting and bracing. They have everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you get injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's a hump day on the Morning Huddle, back-to-back for San Antonio for the Spurs. How do they look after 2 coming out of Houston?
And the coaching carousel continues to turn. So many places still open. We'll talk coaching, we'll talk NBA, and oh, by the way, we got a Super Bowl just around the corner. Lots to talk about. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Joe, I've invented the perfect exercise machine. It's practical, efficient, and fits in any home. I give you the Row and Go. Ta-da! It's a rowing machine that connects to your toilet, so you can row and...
Stop. Folks at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC will help homes stay in tip-top shape. Call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899.
License number M16004, TACLA 141074E.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store and online. And now, the more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Limited time. For JD Power 2025 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Check it out at the Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Trust and Will.
My dad and I were always close, but some things we just didn't talk about, like his will. After he was gone, we found out he didn't have one, and it created a lot of stress during a time of grief.
Creating a will can be hard to think about, but avoiding it can lead to greater difficulty for the people you love. That's why Trust and Will makes estate planning simple. Create a will online in as little as 30 minutes.
Now, I have a will in place to make sure my loved ones are protected. With Trust and Will, it was easy and affordable, and I got peace of mind knowing my wishes are clear.
Trust and Will.
Get 20% off when you visit trustandwill.com/plan. That's trustandwill.com/plan to get 20% off. trustandwill.com/PLAN.
Eczema flaring up again? We have good news. Exoderm. If you or someone you love suffers from eczema or dermatitis, get Exoderm, the common sense answer for eczema. This stuff really does work. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives. Take back control of your eczema with affordable, fast-acting Exoderm Flare Control Cream. Exoderm. It's in the first aid aisle of your local Walmart, H-E-B, and other fine stores.
If your dog goes wild at the doorbell, it's time for a new game plan. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits is coaching up new pups and current MVPs with professional training sessions. Call them today at 210-750-1298. That's 210-750-1298. Call them today.
Dude, I think our studio is haunted.
What the hell's going on?
That clock is going nuts up there on the wall. A minute ago, it was like it is 7 minutes behind the real time, and then it just caught up.
And now it's got flashing lights. It's I don't know what the hell it's doing.
It's still keeping the right time.
Yeah.
But it's flashing at us.
Yes.
Normally that wouldn't be a problem, but it's a clock.
That clock's got a mind of its own.
I'm telling you.
Is there any? Yeah, Pledge is just gonna.
We just tap it. Yeah, that's good. Pledge, nice.
You just unplug it and plug it back in. That's how all engineers fix stuff.
Reboot. Yeah. That's it. That is it. Welcome back to the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I like games like this, especially on a Tuesday night. Perfect night for Spurs basketball. There's nothing else on, no distractions, and they're taking on the Rockets. And I hate the Rockets.
It's going to be a good game. Rockets favored by 4.5 according to ESPN. But the Spurs, what's the word? They play up, or they play to their level of competition. They struggled in the first half yesterday. That was a far closer game than it should have been.
True.
And they ended up winning the game by 13. They were favored by 16. But one of the things that we've seen a lot of lately is Wemby taking a lot more threes, and he was great from 3-point land last night. And he said, "Yeah, I mean it's kind of by design."
It is a game-by-game thing, but also I keep seeing trend over the season, like periods of time where teams will guard a certain team a different way. And maybe, just maybe, teams have been willing to, put me more on the three-point line. But, today I can see, my pick and rolls, they were going under. So I can still do it, and it's just, but I'm lucky to have, the ability to impact the game in different areas, and I'm ready to get any role, but it's going to be periods of times, I might not try a three for the next 3 games in a row. It might just happen. I don't think I will, but anything can happen.
Well, anything can happen, but the way he's shooting the ball, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with him shooting from the 3-point stripe. It keeps him out of the mess down in the paint, and I'm okay with it. And the way he's playing, I got no problem, and I hope he shoots a bunch of them tonight.
And again, you look at last night's game, he was 7 of 12 from 3, 33 points, 10 of 18 shooting. But I do wonder, with something you said earlier, does that just protect him? Because we know when teams get physical with him, he's not as good, and he might get hurt. Is this an idea that Mitch Johnson has come up with to limit the amount of physical play that he's going to face, at least on the offensive end?
I think so. I mean, because look, just lately, he's banged knees with players a couple of different times and gone down, and that's got to scare the hell out of everybody. Certainly did Spurs fans, but I would imagine Mitch Johnson as well. You don't want anything serious to happen to him. I'm okay with him look, Wemby's not a banger. He's just not. Now, defensively, he's going to have to be in the paint, obviously, because he's a shot blocker, and the Spurs need him there. But on the offensive side, I just don't think it's all that necessary all the time. And if he's hot from the outside, I'm okay with him shooting those shots. That man has got one of the smoothest looking jump shots I think I've ever seen. It is just so pure and so smooth. And when he's on, he's on. And so I'm good with it. Keep him out of the paint as much as you possibly can, and let's keep him healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, no Devin Vassell again tonight. But you look at what the Rockets do, and obviously with no Steven Adams, that certainly will help some of the physical play on Wemby. But it's all about defensively guarding Kevin Durant and making sure KD doesn't go crazy tonight. That, to me, would be that's every game, right? And then you start looking at the other role players. You had a crazy stat on De'Aaron Fox earlier. Yeah. He was 6 of 11 yesterday, finished with 14 points. I mean, you look at all the starters yesterday scored in double figures, and Dylan Harper with 15 off the bench. Can they do that in back-to-back games? The Rockets were off yesterday. They played Sunday. I don't know how much it really matters that they played an early start. The Spurs did yesterday, starting at 4, go to Houston after the game. It's not like they were getting in at 3 a.m. So even though it is a back-to-back, I don't know that you're going to see the same kind of fatigue issues that you would normally have on a back-to-back where you get to the next city at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and then try to go through your day. I mean, they left yesterday post game like they would if the game would have ended at 10ish, and so
sleeping in this morning.
Yeah, they were probably in Houston by, I don't know, 10 last night, if thereabouts, give or take. They don't send their itinerary, but it's not like they were, wheels up at 11:30 midnight getting into Houston and then getting to the hotel. So I don't know, while it is a back-to-back, if you'll see the same kind of fatigue stuff that you normally do see when you're playing back-to-back.
I totally agree with that. The stat you were talking about comes from Tom James, who is the leader over there when it comes to media relations. He says since De'Aaron Fox made his NBA debut in 2017, only 3 players have amassed 12,000 points, 3,000 assists, and 800 steals. The names on the list: Nikola Jokic, the Joker, James Harden, and De'Aaron Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty impressive stat.
That's a very impressive stat. What else is impressive? The popularity of the San Antonio Spurs. The top-selling merchandise so far this season. The Lakers, number 1. The Knicks, number 2. Golden State, number 3. The San Antonio Spurs at number 4. Philly at 5. Boston at 6, followed by Minnesota, OKC, Dallas, and Denver. That's your top 10. No surprise, L.A., New York, and Golden State are the top 3. I do find it a little surprising that the Spurs are in at number 4, and it's mainly one guy.
One guy.
Because the top-selling NBA jerseys to this point, sales from the first half of the 2025-26 season, Steph Curry still has the number 1 selling jersey. Luka's Laker jersey is in at number 2. Jalen Brunson at number 3. Vic is at number 4. LeBron at 5.
Well, who doesn't have a LeBron jersey these days?
Well,
huh?
I mean, they're still selling. Anthony Edwards is at 6, SGA at 7. Jason Tatum is at number 8. That's a surprise. The Joker at 9. Tyrese Maxey at 10. 11 through 15 are Cooper Flagg, Kevin Durant, Giannis, Cade Cunningham, and Donovan Mitchell.
Interesting. But I could see the Wemby. I mean, he's got such a worldwide appeal. So I could see that. Number 4, that's okay. I am surprised. I know Steph Curry's jersey's popular, but I really thought that Luka Lakers jersey would be far and away the best. I really did.
Just kind of figure how many people already have a Steph Curry jersey.
Sure.
It's like you got a LeBron jersey.
Yeah, it's interesting. But happy for the Spurs that get a lot of attention, and they're playing well, and that's the main thing.
Yeah, they just need to get, Devin Vassell healthy. Let's talk about it. Our injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com. Let's welcome on the Buyers Barricades guest line, Dr. Lane Naugher. And Doc, we got to start with a gruesome injury. Jimmy Butler tearing his ACL. But just watching the video, gruesome. Every armchair doctor diagnosed that thing.
Yeah, those are the ones you don't have to be an expert to know something didn't look right there.
Well, that knee just went a different way. I mean, when you see something like that, Doc, I mean, right away that that's probably not good.
Yeah, just with seeing those things, we kind of have an idea. But, there are some others where it's even a little more subtle, but you can kind of see that little twisting or that the knee kind of gives way, and sometimes you can just know. But, clearly that one was pretty obvious.
All right, Doc, one that wasn't obvious was Bo Nix breaking his ankle in the playoff game. Now, if you believe the Broncos, it was that run play towards the end where it didn't look like anybody touched his ankle. He didn't do it kneeling down. There's some suggest maybe the locker room celebration snapped his ankle, but it needs surgery right away. So if that happened in the game and you saw him walking around on the field afterwards while he was limping slightly, an ankle break that needs surgery right away, could he have actually been walking around the way he does?
You actually can. There are certain injuries that though they might not appear too severe if the player is kind of pushing through, it still doesn't really give a good idea of exactly how severe it could be, especially with some of these ankle injuries. Now, clearly some folks, if we look back at Dax from a few years ago that Tony Romo so famously called a cramp, those are pretty obvious when things are pointed the wrong direction. But the injury he likely had it's on that spectrum of a really severe high ankle sprain where guys can put weight on it. They might even be able to run a little bit, and but just don't really realize how bad it is. And really the need for surgery is mostly because if a bone breaks or if the ligaments tear bad enough, it's an unstable injury that we know can lead to later problems. So even if initially they're able to kind of limp around or push through, it's still something that's more severe than it may seem at first glance.
Doc, I want to go back to the Spurs for just a minute because Devin Vassell's out again, and he's got that adductor, I think I'm saying that right, adductor strain. He's missed, about 3 weeks now, I would say. What is a typical, and maybe there's nothing typical, but that seems like a long time to me. Is it not?
Did you say 4 weeks on that time frame? Is that what you referenced?
3 to 4 weeks, I would say.
3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, that can be typical. Now, the adductor, those are the muscles on the inside of the thigh that come off of the pelvis and travel down the inner thigh and next to the quadriceps muscles. But you can pull those, strain them, partial tears, and it can take 3 to 4 weeks. And in some cases, that could be even a conservative approach. Sometimes 4 to 6 weeks, depending on the severity, or if a player has had the same issue before. Anytime it comes back, or recurrent injuries typically can take a little bit longer.
Dr. Lane Naugher joining us here on the Blitz for our injury update, powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. We spend a lot of time on these segments talking about recovery, and sometimes you're amazed at how quick some guys can come back. Patrick Mahomes said his doctor said he could be ready to play in week 1. Coming off of, rehab going all that good, but I mean, ACL, LCL, is it realistic to think he'll be ready for week 1?
I think it is possible, to keep it vague. Is it likely? No, but, we've had players, and there's professional athletes and even NFL players that have kind of beaten the typical average time to return, which for a lot of guys, the goal is 9 months. And, 9 months for Mahomes with an injury this late in the season, that would be right at the start of the season, putting him without a lot of time in training camp or the preseason work, which is, that's always comes with some risk. So yes, it is possible. But really timelines, it really depends on the actual player and how they're recovering. Are they meeting their guidelines with therapy? So yeah, he might be back, but I think it is possible, but maybe unlikely.
Doc, well, that brings up a question. With all the technology that we have, and it's certainly improved, and you know that better than anybody, is there no way to speed up a recovery from an injury like that, or is it just Mother Nature has to do her thing?
It is a little both. A lot of our techniques surgically are better than they were years ago, but ultimately it does boil down to a person's biology. And for an ACL, letting a graft, letting the ligament, the new ligament that we put in the knee, heal into the bone, letting all the muscles around the joint recover their full strength, and then recovering that dynamic, that explosiveness, that athletic mobility. That's what takes, at the end of the recovery. And everybody's a little different, and sometimes it's, the professional athletes, they've got access to all the different training equipment and the muscle stimulation and blood flow restriction technologies, everything you could do to get them back, but it can still take some guys longer than the average. It's every athlete is their own recovery process, and the trainers and the doctors have to take each athlete one by one.
I'm not sure if bedside manner is the proper term to use with this, but is it proper bedside manner for a doc to give that kind of timetable, or would it be better for the doctor to tell Mahomes, hey, mid-October, man, maybe if we push it, maybe September, because then Patrick says that, fans are going to have an expectation of week 1, and if he's not available week 1, it's what's wrong with you? Did you have some sort of major setback that we don't know about? With that info, is there a false expectation that he could be ready to go for week 1?
I think it's not necessarily a false expectation. It's always difficult as the surgeons and dealing and talking with our patients and giving them reasonable expectations. I tell a lot of my ACL patients 9 months is a reasonable goal to be back. But I do say, just like I said, it's every person is different. If you're a little bit longer, it's not that something's gone wrong. It's just it might take a little longer, and every person's different. You got to start somewhere, though, and if you put it at a year or longer, well, then those folks are they hear from other trainers, or maybe in Mahomes' case, his agent, or he's hearing, well, this guy took less, So there's good and bad going shorter or longer. Really for them, it's 9 months for him is around the start of the season. I think you got to set that expectation somewhere, set a goal, and try to meet some milestones along the way to get him ready for that. And it might take longer. He might recover faster. So you got to pick somewhere, and that's the difficult part of kind of the art of medicine and helping our athletes individually get back. But I think it is a reasonable goal.
Dr. Lane, Naugher, always appreciate the knowledge and insight. Our injury update powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine online at TSAOG.com. Dr. Naugher and all our guests on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online, buyersbarricades.com.
And that's going to do it for us, Minix.
Yep.
Be sure and join the fellas in the morning. AJ and Rob, they get you started on the morning huddle at 6 a.m. Coming up next, though, I'm assuming, I'm going to ask him right now, we got extra innings with Pledger. That's coming up next here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Have a great night, everybody.